Nothing behind the eyes.
Yeah.
Like hollow happiness.
I love my wife. I'm in love. All right, everybody, welcome to the Martial Mind Podcast. We are here for the first time on video, and we have a killer episode for you today. Today, we're going to talk a lot about time management, how it relates to training, and basically everything else that goes on in life. The ADD will take us to places. Oh, God. So thank you guys for joining us for episode 26, the first one on video. If you guys are listening right now, head on over to Spotify. You can get the video podcast there, or click our link tree at the bottom of the episode description and go to our YouTube channel.
Or show up to John's house, and we'll do it there.
Yeah,
don't be here.
Do you have a gun? Don't tell people that. Anyway,
That's not something you tell people.
Yeah. We don't have guns.
There's nothing here.
There's not a
Or
thing.
keep it like sexy. Like I may have a gun.
You never know.
No, it's just a bear. It's me.
They're still legal for now, so like you can't take it away yet.
Who has a gun? I don't know.
I have an autonomous attack bear, but that's actually me.
So the other cool factor, the other cool thing that we're working into the show today is we can actually do video reactions. So what we're going to ask you guys to do...
We're just going to show them the script.
The two things on the screen are time management and bear armor in all caps.
This is how much planning we do. 4 words.
This is the idea.
Listen. We're usually talk about time management.
The
We're
document
real
isn't
fucking
even
prepared
titled.
today.
The document doesn't even have a title.
Documents don't
All
need
right,
titles.
ready?
All right,
I'll give it a title. Right?
All right, it's 2022. We don't need a title. You
Title.
fucking ass. Oh my god.
Title.
But we can actually react to videos. So what we're
That's
going to
so
ask
funny.
you guys to do is sign up with the Discord and send us videos that you guys want us to watch
my God,
and react
please.
to.
Whether
For
it's
the love of
crazy,
God.
hilarious, or awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we'd love
Martial
to talk
arts
about it.
related or other.
Yeah, it doesn't
martial
matter.
arts.
Doesn't
gags, crime. Send us some crime.
Now that we have this set up, guys, we got a lot of potential, a lot of possibilities to make some really cool
Now that they can
content.
see our faces, though, I think there's less potential.
We could spread our wings.
That's also true.
There's less potential.
We did get a message on the Instagram once where some guy was like, some guy, he's going to read this, he's going to hear this and be like, fucking some guy. You
fucking guy.
responded to me. I can't remember right now, I'm sorry. But he was like, you guys don't look anything how I thought you would look. And I'm like, what did you think we would look like, you know?
It's like more handsome.
Yeah,
Oh,
probably
God.
better looking, I would
I thought
assume.
the 3 of you were just elderly Japanese men.
Yeah.
No, we're not.
I feel like everybody today expect us to be like Instagram ripped. You know what I mean?
No.
I'm not even regular ripped.
I don't have enough, ephedrine and extra testosterone in my system for that.
I got too much testosterone, hence no hair.
I look like
That's what that is.
I'm built like a sophomore high schooler who plays football. That's like
Basically, yeah.
like I'm like
I'm
I have
probably a guy
I got
who
a little
peaked
bit
in
of
high
muscle.
school but still lifts weights. You know,
You're,
what I mean?
you're like the running back that doesn't hit the weight room. It's all cardio. He's
Yeah,
just
just
real
run.
quick.
Yeah.
Real quick boy. All
I don't need to
body
worry about
weight.
you tackling me if I run faster than you.
You do jump real high. I'll give you that.
You got
do.
ups.
I can jump high, far, away.
Right?
I just hurt my neck.
Same.
Injured.
I literally
Episode
just
1.
because my head is like 1,000,000 pounds.
Bro,
My head is like a Fiat.
Everybody's head is
Just on. No, but
between
my
12
head
and
though.
15
But dude,
pounds.
look at this thing.
Yours is like,
Look at this.
Bro, you want to talk?
Dude,
you look like an Easter Island
Dude,
head.
from tip to stern, I'm just like, or bow to
bow to stern.
bow to stern.
It's from tip to taint.
tip
And
to
then
from
bow to
tip to
stern.
taint, from taint to tip, from dick to ass, dude.
Oh
Look at
my
this thing.
God.
I look like a crescent moon in a children's book. Like, I'm just like
Good night, Ryan. Good night.
Oh my God. Good night,
falls
Moon.
asleep forever.
Oh,
Good night,
Fuck
Moon.
to sleep.
Dude, that's amazing.
Go the
Let's
fuck
pull
to
that
sleep.
screen cap because if you guys haven't heard of "Go the Fuck to Sleep," there's
John's
a series.
keyboard is perpetually in caps all the time. John,
He's
go the fuck to
Screaming.
sleep.
He's always screaming.
John,
cruise
just-
control for cool.
don't say cruise control for cool.
Go the fuck to sleep. It's the book. Boom.
It's a book, but there's also a video of it on YouTube being read by Samuel L. Jackson, and it's unbelievable.
What's going on?
And just so you guys know, anytime
That's how much it costs.
Yep, it's on Amazon.
Anytime we've been,
What the fuck is going on?
anytime John has been looking anything up for the last 24 episodes, it's been in caps.
All caps. I can't
John's
turn
been
it off.
typing everything in caps.
I
What do
mean,
you mean
normally
you
there's a
can't
light.
turn it
There's-
off?
There's no light. I never know, and I just start typing.
Can we please pull up the bear armor guy?
Yeah, we got. All right, we're going to go right into it.
So as far as martial arts is concerned, we're always talking about like protecting ourselves and training, right? This guy takes it to the absolute next level. Where after he was attacked by a bear, he saw the need to arm himself against none other than bears themselves, right? So he built himself a suit
There
of
it is.
armor. Oh God!
There
and
it
him
is.
Testing it.
All right, yeah,
All
let's-
right, I'll let him do the
Yeah,
explaining.
hang on. All right, well, let's start over. Cool. Boom. All right, bear armor
Dude,
guy.
this guy looks like if you blended like Steven Crowder in like a can of like Miller Lite, like
Like an ashtray.
into like one person.
Dude, this is named Troy Hurtubies? I can't say
Troy
it.
Hertubis.
Troy Hurt.
I'm a
His-
preservationist, but I'll kill bears when I see him.
the whole
I'm
video.
preserving everything that said bears.
It looks like Ernest joins the Marines.
Oh my god. Ernest has PTSD.
Why is he so leathery? All right, play the video.
It's the bear armor. All right, here we go.
in its habitat.
To save the wild animals, bees must study and learn more about them. That means getting up close and very personal with the dangerous grizzly, an almost deadly experience
What a
he
dumb-
encountered once
Hold on,
before.
hold
thing
on.
to do.
Hold on.
Smashes me to the chest with such
He's
force
dressed
I
like
fly
John
back.
Smith.
What?
The grizzly spared his life, and now Bees
just
is
leaps.
determined to return the
like,
favor.
you gotta-
Full-grown, these
you gotta
ferocious
really
beasts
wait. This
stand
is-
7 feet tall and can weigh up to 1,000 pounds. Their claws can pierce you, and their
Yeah, no
bites
shit.
can kill you. But
Yeah.
coming
Terrifying.
face to
Bears
face
are terrifying.
again with a grizzly doesn't seem to faze Bees one bit.
Oh my
This
God.
guy.
Hold on.
Suit will withstand an attack of
He's
a
got a
grizzly bear.
license plate on his chest.
I
gotta register with the DMV.
The world's first bear-proof suit made from titanium, plastic, rubber, and chainmail. The suit is hooked up with
Whatever
equipment that will
I-
document and record the
That list of
unknown
ingredients.
facts of a bear.
He bites
He's just
into
wearing
the bite
hockey
bar,
gear.
and you'll be able to
Dude,
record for the
but
first
it's
time
extremely
the pounds per
durable.
square inch biting power of a grizzly bear.
And Bees is convinced
my
this
God.
150-pound
Man
suit
on
will
the
protect
moon.
anyone
Looks like
from
Big
a
Daddy from
grizzly's
Bioshock.
deadly assault.
Oh, you're
If
so
the bear
right.
attacks, you're going to be okay.
To prove
course
his
he's got a
theory that
fucking
the
tassel
suit does in
jacket.
fact
Oh,
work,
my
That's what's
Of
in
course he's got a
risks
fucking
his life,
tassel jacket.
Put it through
Jesus
test
Christ.
I got my
after
friend
test.
Richie here hitting me with a
First, he
lead.
shot the suit with a 12-gauge shotgun.
Broomstick beat. Oh my god,
Then
a 12
he
gauge
launched a
shotgun.
300-pound
We're
log.
going with the
dead
we're going with the
center
indoor
towards
special
the
here.
shaft.
Actual fuck.
Just
Is that dedication,
getting
or
hit
is
by
he
just getting
simply
killed by
nuts?
Ewoks.
What is
And
happening?
if that's
This
not
one.
crazy enough, he had a 3-ton truck ram right into him at a speed of 30 miles per hour.
They hit him so.
Well, he
He's
was
getting
having so
look
much
at him
fun,
rolling.
he decided
They
to
throw him
toss
down a
himself
mountain.
down
He's a
the
Master
ravine.
Chief.
He got hit by a
All
car.
this
I think
without a
that's Master
scratch.
Chief.
My life is dedicated to the grizzly bear.
Oh, the
In
frills.
the
Just in
end,
case
because
there's
of
two
Kurt
bears
Bees'
driving a
passion
Toyota
and hard
Tacoma and they hit me
effort,
with it.
North
I'll
American
be good.
grizzly
Dude, he
will
doesn't.
live.
What do you
Question
mean?
is,
Look at
was
this
he?
again.
What the fuck?
I wish they literally showed bears driving that car.
Troy still
Like that- it's just bears.
Oh, what a
Can you imagine
psycho.
being a reporter and being like, "What are we talking about today, guys?" It's like, actually.
Yeah, well, this guy made fucking bear armor.
Yeah.
So we got to show that. Wow. Just, I have no words. Well, there's lots of words, but
Dude, did you see?
what am I?
Did you ever hear about the Logan Paul Japan incident?
Yeah.
Oh, with the suicide fucking
Yeah. I just learned about this the other day.
And-
I couldn't
Yeah.
fucking believe
That is a fucking. That's a. You want to speak about a Jumanji moment? That's a Jumanji moment right there. You came right out of the game. You're like Logan Paul next to a hung Japanese guy in a Yoda hat. Like what?
Yeah, dude. It's
Crazy.
like a park where they go to
That wasn't
like
Yoda
hang
hat. That was
themselves.
like
What was it? It was a
that
fucking
the-
green-
The alien from Toy Story.
One
of us.
The cloud
Yeah.
chooses who stays and who goes.
Yeah, that was like,
Dude, literally.
that's satire, man. That's
Dude,
not fucking
I've
real.
also though like, what is it? Fucking like just content has become so depraved in the sense of like it's literally just anything to get you to stare at the screen. Like it's not even anything entertaining. Like, dude, have you ever looked at or have you seen like sponsored like social media influencer like Snapchat stories? Have you ever watched them?
Garbage.
Dude,
It's all
literally
garbage.
they make me want to like kill my whole family with a shotgun and then blow my own brains out in the bath. Like I'm watching it, it's just like everything starts like this. It's just like first thing is like, and it says good morning beautiful people, and it's like this, and then throughout the day it's like look at me, I'm eating rigatoni, look at me with the boys at the pool, and I'm like what is this? Like you're not like listen if you want to
There's
do
no
it
like actual content.
No,
And the
it's
next
just-
thing-
it's
and
just
then-
like stuff.
Then next
It's
thing
all
you know, it's
things.
a professional grade photograph of them. Yeah, seriously.
It reminds me of those like You know, watch
Giga
till the
Chad
end.
face, yeah.
And it's like those guys that they'll have like life hacks that aren't real, and it's like they'll have like a sheet pan or just putting all random shit in. Like, I wonder what'll happen
Well,
next.
there's that,
and, like,
there's
nothing
that one
happens.
funny kid who's like 17 or 18, and he does all like does it work? And like they're super goofy, but it's actual content. Like, he's
Will
actually
it
doing-
blend? That's actually a good
Dude.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, I accidentally
we're back.
restarted the bear video.
But like, or even like you know what's even worse in the Snapchat, Instagram, the Snapchat influencer stories are, if you ever go down to like Yahoo News or all the other ones that are like much worse. Like, they're not even actual news sites. They're just like I don't know, like celebrititits.com, and it's just like weird, and it's just this guy. It's like, hey, what's up?
Definitely something I've typed
And he's just
before.
and he's just like and he's
Mr. Skin.
and they're just like, hey, what's up,
16-year-old
guys?
me just like
But it's just like some dude with a TikTok haircut who's in front of a green screen. He's like, "What's up, guys? It's me, Peyton Whitman, and I'm here to tell you about what's going on with The Rock." And I'm just like, my eyes are bleeding out of my head, and it's just like, and there's no substance to it. Well, this is
nothing I can.
this is frustrating just for like just in general, where like they'll put something eye catching on the thumbnail, and then it's not even in the actual you're poking through it. Not poking. That's not the word.
Tapping.
You're poking through the screen because I'm 100 years old.
Well, the point that I'm making is like a lot of it is often like
Literally just to get you to the end of the video.
to get you to the end of the video, exactly.
Like, literally.
It'll either
Like
be
meat
like
grinder.
something shocking that somebody said something shocking. Somebody said something cancelable, essentially. You know, somebody said something racist or transphobic or something like that. You know what I mean? It'll always be I can't believe what this person said. Then like 4 stories that mean nothing. Then like 2 seconds of that actual story. And it'll be like a tweet they sent out. That like half the time it really is actually pretty fucked up. You know what I mean? Half the time like it actually is like the real story. And sometimes it's not, but that's just because people make content. Or what it'll be is it'll be like really hot photo of a girl, and then like just a bunch of her being like, this is how I whiten my teeth, and this is like the makeup that I put on, and like literally caught myself trapped in an Instagram feed. I'm sorry, like a Snapchat story, like when you go to the back of Snapchat and it's like all that shit that you're talking about.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
The back page
Cesspool,
is,
literal
It's just a fucking cesspool.
This is
And
the
it's
back
just
room,
like,
the back room in a sex shop.
I'm not saying her.
Like,
I'm not saying her name. 'Cause I
Glory
don't
hole?
want, I'm not saying her name because I don't want to get sued. But it's like somebody who used to have an OnlyFans that doesn't have an OnlyFans anymore, yet still posts like OnlyFans pictures, you know, style kind of pictures. But then there's all these people commenting because like as much as I'm disgusted by it, I'm also like, it's genius.
Oh,
You make a
generating
living.
clicks, yeah.
You make a living, literally just hanging out, living your life, putting your whole life online, just so that people will see it. But that's how they get you. Is it's like all these videos, and they get these views because you're sitting there, clicking like, next.
Because for the-
Kicking with my forefinger.
But it's all like 13, 14-year-olds. It's got to be young people being like, I love you so much. You're so amazing. You're so this. You're so that. It's all like, it's never like, well, I'm sure they don't post this. I'm sure there are like a bunch of greasy dudes that like say gross shit to them. But
Yeah.
like 100%.
That's
I'm
like
sure
30% of that audience.
There's a lot
no,
of those
absolutely.
guys.
But like, yeah, but
Just greasy 35-year-olds.
They're like 80%
they're-
of certain dating sites.
But what I'm saying is what's dangerous is like not only how much time we're spending looking at this content, but also the fact that the content even exists in the first place. You know?
Yeah.
Because it's influencing people's thought processes, and it's influencing, like we were talking about in the beginning of the episode, like how people manage their time. Because, you know, you get stuck in a hole on your phone. Jenny yells at me all the time about like how much time I spend on my phone, and I don't feel like I'm spending any time on my phone.
Yeah.
I mean, half the time I'm on my phone, I'm like making stuff. I'm on CapCut making reels. I'm on Canva making our new merch, our t-shirts,
Dude.
and our hoodies. Plug. But like,
Links in the bio.
yeah. But like, you know, I'm usually busy with things, business related things, stuff like that, but not all the time. And then in between those things, you get caught scrolling. So something that should have taken 20 minutes takes an hour because you realize 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, get stuck on a video that's 3 minutes long. Let me just see if there's anything funny on TikTok to take a break real quick. And the next thing you know,
Day is
half
over.
an hour goes
Go to
by.
bed.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
seriously.
just pull up a reel and suddenly you're 40.
Well, it's dangerous.
Really,
So,
you're
like,
late for work.
So one of the things there with time management is also like these issues we have with modernity. You know what I mean? Like modern day distractions of technology, of content, of like, it used to be bad. I remember being a kid and people complaining about like, oh, there's sex everywhere.
Yeah.
With like and it came from a different standpoint of like, oh, you know, like either Christian sensibilities or like old timey kind of reserved ways.
No
of
dating
being.
until you're dead. It's
Right,
like, well,
exactly. Stay one balloon apart from each other.
at least one balloon.
Well,
if
not
you know.
to leave room for Jesus.
Yeah.
You could tell that like an American came up with that because it's like, how many balloons wide is Jesus? How many balloons wide is our Savior? Dude, he was pretty wide, dude. That guy was a fucking carpenter. He was fucking ripped.
That was
yeah.
farmer strong.
That guy was
Yeah.
that guy had fucking washboard abs.
the forearms in that guy.
Dude.
Must have
Even
been
with the
serious.
hole, it's probably really strong. You know what I mean?
Dude, if I was walking around Judea looking like Brad Pitt from Troy, dude,
Yeah.
I would
Well, the
worship me
problem
too.
is,
Like, this guy came from
The thing
God.
is, everybody
This
used
guy
to
is
look
God.
like that. Everybody used to look like that. If you look at beaches in the 70s, people are fucking shredded. Shredded. Everybody had abs.
Yep.
You know, everybody had abs. Nobody had muscles, but everybody had abs.
You were just you were either skinny muscular or skinny fat or real fat.
Well, it all depends on what you did for a living.
Like
I
a
feel
woman's
like.
breakfast was like 3 raisin skins and a cigarette. Like that was all they ate.
Dude, I used to work
And
with
you only-
somebody who was a little older, and she was very good looking for her age, especially. You know what I mean? Like you would never know she was that old.
You never know she was 98.
Seriously though, she took great care of herself. But like she'd go on these diets because I want to lose a few pounds, and I'd be like, "You're in your late 50s, like you know, like just appreciate who you are. Like you look great, you know."
Yeah.
But no, I'm gonna eat a can of tuna a day for the next week.
Oh,
That's it.
that's like every time we go to the diner,
Or she goes
there's
to me
like
one.
that.
Oh, sorry, but
No, it's okay.
one diet was like one day I eat 3 bananas, and the next day I eat 3 eggs, and the day after that I eat 1 can of tuna, and it's like what the actual fuck?
Let me tell you what that diet actually is. The first day you have 3 bananas. The second day you just have diarrhea.
That's the point. It's a cleanse.
You're just eating mushy fruit. Who came up with
Shitting for days.
I feel like you go to like the book signing of that cookbook and it's just like written by a baboon. It's just a legit monkey. Just, fucking, just on the desk, just like jumping up. This is Carl.
I'm just breaking my bike.
But dude, those are like the diets. Every time we go to like a, I don't know if this is just like, well, I mean, diners are a really big Long Island thing, so I don't know how big they are in other places, unless you live like off of an interstate.
Yeah,
but
diners
like,
and delis.
But like every time I go to the diner, they still have the like the diet section, which is like
Fucking cottage cheese and turkey.
Yeah.
Like,
do you
that's
want a turkey Jello cottage cheese cigarette? It's like no, I don't want that.
Comes with a pack of light cigarettes because they keep you lean. You know.
Virginia Slims.
Yeah, Camels with the filter. Like, what am I, like a World War I GI? Like, what the fuck do I want? Camels with the filter
I think
now.
one of my favorite. You guys ever watch Band of Brothers?
Oh yeah.
My favorite scene in Band of Brothers is it's the Battle of the Bulge, and they're in one of the, spoiler alert, they were one of the foxholes.
It came out in 2005. If you
Yeah.
haven't seen
You
it yet, go fuck
you.
yourself.
Yeah.
Go fuck
Like
yourself.
so they were in one of the foxholes, and the guy pulls out a pack of Lucky Strikes, which they still sell with no filter, which is crazy.
I knew a guy that only smoked them in like 2009.
He's dead now.
That's insane.
yeah.
No filter.
Yeah, dude. Mouth on muffler of car.
Just car exhaust.
Like, I can't wait for all this to be cut into like just a reel. It's just all the insanity in between everything.
it's gonna be
it's just
madness.
noises.
It's 2 hours of us laughing after the things we say,
You
and
should do
that's
a reel
it.
of all. You should do a reel of like all the sound effects we make individually in like one episode.
The world is not ready for what we have wrought upon it.
Yeah, no, this is like either we're gonna get a ton of followers or like one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just
It's
one
just
really,
still Matt.
one
Hi,
really.
Matt.
What's up, Matt?
Hello, Matt. Good
Speaking
day.
of which, let me just side story here.
Side story.
Matt took a Tai Chi class at the school.
Yes, he
So
did.
Thank you for, it was a midnight Tai Chi class for you, which is
It was like fucking like 1 in the morning.
super impressive.
Or whatever time it was.
Yeah. But like level of dedication to just learn from new people is unreal. Absolutely unreal.
The first ever Martial Mind fan.
Yeah.
At like training with us.
That
It's
was
so
a
badass.
that was even though like its implications were like it was like a subtle experience, but like the implications were like anything but subtle. Like I was watching this happen. I was like, this is a guy from England who's only here and knows about the school because we've connected with him through our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
That is insane. That's
just
fucking bananas.
the first drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
Like that's a crazy thought, you know. But we got lots of time. We got lots of time and lots of shit to talk about and joke about. So
Yeah, no, but to Matt has really been like the inspiration to keep us going. Like when all else fails, when nobody else was reaching out to us, when we weren't getting like listens on episodes and stuff like that, like Matt was always there. to message us and ask us how we're doing and being like, thank you for inspiring my training again. And like a lot of stuff has happened in his life that we've been able to be there for him as well, which is really, really awesome to like make these connections with people, which is exactly why we have the Discord. And now we have enough people in the Discord
they're talking to each other. Yeah,
and helping each other out, giving each other advice, which is the whole point of it.
Yeah, literally the point of it is what we're trying to do with this.
Is to build this community and then like give to the community and then eventually be able to do this for you guys full time. Like, that's the whole. Because
the thing
idea.
Is, this may sound very highfalutin, but I mean it in the most genuine way. It's like.
Is that like a term from the 20s?
Highfalutin.
Highfalutin?
Highfalutin.
I don't know what that
This
means.
is an episode of the fucking Dukes of Hazzard, but okay.
I tell you what.
It's like an early form of fuel.
I tell you what.
I need some highfalutin fuel for my Ford.
Highfalutin.
How do you even spell that?
Just
No one
write
knows.
it. Just highfalutin.
Falutin.
Highfalutin.
Highfalutin meaning.
Oh,
Meaning.
Highfalutin Bernadoodle. Wait, go back.
Hold on.
Type in high. Start
How
typing
the
in.
fuck did we get here?
Hold on.
Highfalutin.
Highfalutin meaning.
Stop typing in. Start typing in. Get rid of meaning.
Misspell it.
Highfalutin Bernadoodles. What is that?
No, we have.
Bernadoodle. Oh, like a puppy. A Bernadoodle. Hold on, we're way off topic.
It's a Bernese Mountain Dog and a poodle.
Oh
my god. Okay, so
but yeah, just kind of like a high and mighty, thing to say. But like, it really is like that. We're using this podcast to be and us to be more of like a platform and almost like an empty vessel for like all of your growth. Because that's what we're using it for. It's not like we're not like fucking finished work. We're just like, and now that we're done, we can teach you stuff for $29.99 a month. It's like, no, it's like we're fucking, we got no fucking idea what's going on.
We started this because we all looked at each other and we're like, dude, we're not where we want to be.
Yeah.
We need something to like push ourselves and to make sure we're growing. Like,
and we have been. The
right
podcast,
direction.
just so you guys know, and I think we've spoken about this on the podcast before. Important point. Is that
good.
We've grown a lot.
They're gonna take you real seriously now.
We've grown a lot.
How the fuck?
We've grown a lot.
Yeah, belch. We've grown a lot.
But
sure, not in maturity, but in skill.
I learned a lot
and
of
in
things.
muscles.
I learned a lot of things.
I did squat 315 yesterday without pain for the first time in a while, so that's good.
Movement with no pain.
Yeah.
Over here.
Just breaks my wrist. Just
okay, that was awesome. One more time. Ready? Oh, that's good enough. That's fine.
Is like we've said both on and off the podcast to each other that like we've really seen a difference in ourselves and everyone else and the other two with from us starting the podcast and this accountability project, like just training, consistency with training both in and out of the school, just general mindset, probably even just like emotional well-being. Like it's become a real rock for me.
And I
know for you guys too.
I was describing it to my parents yesterday. I was hanging out, like having dinner with mom and dad, and like just talking about the podcast, how things are growing, and just described it as like an accountability project, so that we make sure we are who we want to be and who we say we are. It's like we practice kung fu, and like we have this podcast and we talk about that, and we talk about the way kung fu intersects with life, and just to make sure that we're on our shit, because I can't be on this platform talking about kung fu if I don't do it.
Absolutely.
So there's no quitting here. There's no we're stuck.
And I think what makes it good too is like that. I feel like what makes it real for us, but also hopefully for you guys, is that like, again, it's not like we're finished works that are now just maintaining for like image sake. It's like we are still in the works of crafting who we want to be.
Right.
So like we're still in the trenches like with you guys doing that. Where we're not like, hey, so like this is what we did. Top tips to like make extra side hustles and income, and also like get that girl. No, it's like hey, we're like, hey, we don't know. We're trying to figure out how to get up at the same time every day and meditate more and train a lot. So help us with that. Help.
It's more, sharing our struggles, experiences, and learning, mistakes that we've learned from.
Yeah.
And the things that we currently struggle with, and directly into time management. I know this is something that you've been dealing with pretty excessively. No, you're all good. All your time.
Done. Yeah, Ryan's perfect.
Yeah.
Actually.
I got here
we
before
take the
Ed,
whole thing back.
You did get here before me, but I had
Ed needs
quite
to
the
work
morning.
on it.
And I live here.
John was late.
And I was late. Yeah.
John drove here from his house, which we're in right now.
No, but are there any points? Like, because I know for you, time management has been a real struggle.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I have struggled with my entire life. Like, ADD has been like it's something where like I was medicated in I think middle school, and like it's probably something where I should have been medicated forever, probably. Like all through college, I could have genuinely benefited. College and my work experience after that with the company could have genuinely benefited from being medicated.
Change
like,
your voicemail, by the way.
I know. Well, no, because can I tell you, I have tried to change it, but like I don't remember the password to change it, so I have to. There's like a whole 5 other.
Ryan's voicemail is 12-year-old Ryan.
No, no. Hold on. Stop it.
That was for a long time. He owned a business for like a year and a half, and his voice message was like, "Hi, it's Ryan. Leave a message." And I'm like,
How did they get the voice actor for Mickey and Minnie Mouse to
Oh, boy.
Mickey and Goofy?
Don't you ever talk to me that way again.
I will kill your whole family.
The one thing that comes from this podcast is voiceover careers for the three of us.
Absolutely. Yeah. I did my Elmo voice for guys at work one time, and it was just joking around. Like I did
what
my
voice?
Elmo. So I did my Peter Griffin.
Wait, I don't think I've heard you do Elmo.
I've never
before.
heard you
Right,
Elmo.
because I've kept it in my back pocket for a very long time.
Well, now that you spoke about it, John.
It's startling because my Peter Griffin impression, my friend Grit, he was like, "So Gordo, is that like
fuck his name Grit?"
Bill?"
Okay.
Ooh. So
he needs a cigarette at all times.
no, he's actually a really really cool dude.
The name.
Shout out to Bill.
Grit.
Shout out to Bill.
And he was like, "So is that how you wooed your wife with your Peter Griffin impression?" I was like, "No, it's actually my Elmo impression." He's like, "Well, now you got to show us." So, Hammond's favorite color is red.
All right, guys. I think once a week we need to have a segment of like picking one really fucked up thing for John to say in the Elmo voice.
Hammond doesn't want to do that. Hammond doesn't want to do this anymore. I'm a quit. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't actually.
That is scary.
Yeah, my Elmo impression is
Dude, we got to take you to like a park at night and just put you like in the bushes.
just like hide behind a headstone in a cemetery, just yell Elmo things at people. Oh man, yeah. So that is actually how I wooed my wife with my Elmo voice.
Dude. I was in the middle of saying something about being medicated. I didn't take my medication today, by the way, because I'm medicated again.
We're off the rails.
If you guys want some, I think you need some as well. We gotta fucking snort it, I think.
Yeah, we just gotta bang it off the counter. We just need to do Adderall rails.
Razor blade real quick.
But it's been something that has been like both time management and definitely. I mean, I was diagnosed with at least mild ADD, like, but it's been something that has been like a real. Both of those things have like really like hobbled me like throughout like most of my life, like legitimately, like where I like days would go by and I'd just be like, I didn't get anything done. I didn't do anything. Or like that combined with like the combo platter of like those two things and depression, I'd be like I think I mentioned this 1 or 2 episodes ago where like there'd be days where I'd be in bed for like literally 8 hours, like a full work shift. I'd just be in bed on my phone, haven't talked to anybody, just watching, not even fully watching videos, just I get to a point where my brain would be so fried I'd just be scrolling, not watching anything. Literally just sitting there scrolling through TikTok, not watching anything. Isn't that insane? Oh, don't. Okay, I was hoping you'd be like, no, I do that, but now I don't feel.
We're actually gonna find a third host. We need to replace Ryan.
Well, so like I go through
didn't say
similar
no,
things,
so.
and then the depression part comes from fucking beating yourself up for it too. You know.
Well, but kind of that vicious cycle of then you also just the negative effects of you intaking that type of content and not doing anything actually meaningful and anything that actually is rewarding, anything that where the dopamine actually feels like a reward.
Right, and the point that I was trying to make in the beginning as well, when I was talking about like all those different kinds of content, I remember we kind of ADD'd out of when I was talking about like, you know, have people complain that there's
in and ADD
yeah,
out.
well, people talk about how there's sex everywhere, right? And the point that I was trying to make is that like it's very distracting. It's super distracting.
Oh yeah,
for everybody. Doesn't male, female, or in between. Doesn't make a difference.
Tits
you
and
know?
dicks.
Doesn't make a difference. It's like it's super fucking distracting because it sets off like the lizard part of your brain, and then you just keep looking for it and keep looking for it. It doesn't matter if it's real.
Yeah.
That's how people get addicted to porn.
Your brain doesn't know the difference.
Right. That's the problem.
Is that your? No, go ahead. Sorry.
Your brain. That's what exactly I was gonna say. Your brain does not know the difference. You know.
Yeah.
So we know people that. They spend more time alone, if you know what I mean, than they do even attempting to find somebody, and it's because it's easier, and it gives you that serotonin hit, that dopamine hit. And that's what you end up looking for, is you just keep continually looking for like that new hit of dopamine and serotonin, that new thing that's going to make you like actually like fucking wake up and feel something.
I love the dichotomy of like human brains, where it's like on the one hand your brain's like I've been evolving for 45 million years, and I've put a man on the moon, and I've created fire. But then your brain's also like, I don't know if it's a thought, a real, or a dream, or it's on the internet. And it's like, what?
I saw a butt. Keep scrolling. More butts. More butts.
It's like, I can't tell the difference between anything. It's like,
I saw
how?
Somebody made the comparison that like your brain on pornography, like you're being rewired to watch instead of participate. It's something somebody said. I'm not sure how true that is, because you see your brain doesn't know the difference, and that's just like, it's a peculiar thing to think about.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, you're not you're, instead of participating, you're associating arousal and sex with watching.
That's why it's damaging to younger men. Is that it's your brain again. It's and on top of that too, again, it's the dopaminergic. It's there's no
words Ryan made up just now.
Dopaminergic is a real word. That's a legitimate word.
Highfalutin
dopaminergic. Dopaminergic. No. Dopaminergic is an absolutely 100% highfalutin real word.
Who the fuck looks for highfalutin Bernadoodles? I'm still kind of really on my heels about that.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. John, one of your heels is not working, so what's not?
Yeah, I'm actually
John has damaged one of his heels.
It's no big deal.
It's no big deal.
We're fine.
We're
fine. We're okay.
But there's no actual. The reward process is just like reward. There's no like process. It's just reward. Turn on, press a button, reward. It's just. Not to be weird, but where's Ed going with all that ass?
He's got that dumper's on the move.
He's got that kung fu dumper.
Where are you going with that dumper?
It just has a do not follow sign on it.
Martin's potato rolls. Do not follow.
You're taking that route to a work site.
Construction vehicle.
Yeah, do not follow.
Keep back 200 feet or whatever it is.
It's just guys in pickup trucks with like yellow lights on it. Just like heavy load, wide load.
Riding on the back who puts the traffic cones down.
Wide load.
2 words, wide load.
But so like in the past it'd be like, sex is increases your dopamine. I think like 1.5 times or 2 times in the moment of that happening. But it's like, yeah, but that also makes sense because what it would take in the past, but also even like, for you to actually like for you to actually like
zoom in on that.
Just
there's so many shenanigans will be had.
For you to actually like go out, have the confidence to meet a girl, be funny, be witty, be charming. And then for you guys to like want to have sex and to have sex and to like have that be fun. Like that's like a whole fucking thing. Now it's just like boobs and it's just like coming and like that's it. And it takes like 5 seconds and then you feel like shit.
Which button is the one that makes me come? That's on your phone.
Here's the flashlight. Here's the.
Well, you ever heard about that?
Just comes.
The woman that she like wore the hole through her thumb because she had the button that made her jizz. She had a cum button. You ever
Girls
heard about
don't
that?
jizz, Ed.
You know what I mean. Girls. Okay. Some
actually,
do.
It's pee. I think this is pee.
It's pee, but who cares?
Pee.
It's fun anyway. Pee or no pee.
It's fun pee.
That's what's gonna be on the T-shirt. Pee or no pee. It's fun.
Fun pee.
Train every day. Kung fu every day. If it's pee, who cares? Oh God!
First time on camera, instantly canceled.
Yeah. We say this like every other episode, and people are like, "Great episode, guys!"
Oh, it was awesome.
We're like, well, these people are also pieces of shit.
That segment about
We're
sexual
just gonna
peeing.
collect everybody that trains kung fu and is also a scummy piece of
Hello, my fellow scumbags.
my fellow punching dirtbag.
This kung fu school is a scumbag factory.
None of you are scumbags. We love every single one of you. These are all
What else
jokes.
you can use
Of
sword
course.
finger for, you know what I mean?
Just Home Alone.
Oh man.
Apparently he wasn't supposed to keep his hands there, but he did it, and the director thought it was adorable, so they went with it.
Macaulay
Like it's just a
Culkin.
cute little kid thing where he just went, and he was supposed to take his hands away, but he didn't. And they're like, "That's the shot we're using." Fun fact.
It's like Bill Murray's character in Caddyshack is completely improvised. There was no lines written for him. It's just Bill Murray being Bill Murray.
Dude, when they casted him for Ghostbusters, they got a verbal agreement that he was going to do it, and then they're like, "Is Bill going to show up?" And then he just like showed up to set. There was no like talk. He was just like, they're like, "Where is he?" They're like, I think he's coming. He said he was coming, and then
Just hiding behind a clipboard, like I'm right here, guys.
yeah, and then he just like just walked onto set. They're like, Bill's here. Let's go.
The only
Let's
reason
start.
I want a house in the city is so that Bill Murray might eventually just walk into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Start doing the dishes.
The second you see Bill Murray just show up anywhere, because he could just show up at your wedding randomly. You wouldn't even like.
He does shit like that.
Yeah, he's like a phantom.
Take fucking bites of people's sandwiches and be like, nobody will believe you, and just walk away.
You're like, he's right.
Grab your hamburger, bite it, give it back. And I drink from your milkshake. Well, let's stand.
I drink it up. Yeah.
I drink it up.
But also be
What a
not.
dumb last movie for him to do. My last movie, I will make dresses and be boring.
Wait, what?
Hey, you leave Phantom Thread alone. I enjoyed Was that his last movie? I thought Lincoln was his last movie.
I don't.
No.
I have no idea what his last movie was. This is why
Not
we have
Phantom
the internet.
Thread.
Yeah, when he makes dresses, that's Phantom Thread.
That's Phantom
It's
Thread?
Phantom Thread. It's an interesting movie. I liked it.
He makes dresses and he marries that woman.
Yeah,
and
who
they have
who keeps poisoning him.
Yeah.
You know what's cool about Phantom Thread, actually, that I realized is that there was, and John, you may find this interesting, there was no single person who was the director of photography on this film.
Really?
Paul Thomas Anderson literally worked with like a group of people to construct the shooting for this movie, the shooting and lighting. He worked with like the lighting team, and like he had camera operators, but there was no DP for this film.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting?
That is pretty interesting, actually. This is
Daniel
actually
Lewis is insane.
a madman.
He
Absolute
is
ma-
bananas.
He's a shapeshifter, like Gary Oldman. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Oh yeah, dude, Gary
unbelievable.
Oldman. But also, I love Gary Oldman. Like, he goes from like these fucking ridiculously insane roles
Like from True Romance, the
Yeah.
one-eyed Rastafari pimp.
to then
Yeah.
to then he's like yeah, I'll be the weird guy from The Fifth Element with a weird haircut and plastic on his head. It's like, it's like why? Oh, hold
And
on.
then he's Commissioner
Yeah, what
Gordon.
is
and then
Winston Churchill.
and he played Winston Churchill, and then back in the day he played Matthew McConaughey's midget dwarf. I don't know what's appropriate.
Little
to say.
person?
Little person. Sorry, I don't know what they're in. Hold on. Hold on. This is actually very important.
He's in Hannibal. Dude,
Tiptoes.
Jesus Christ, he's in everything.
He played Rolf in Tiptoes, which is
Rolf?
a movie where.
Oh
Hold on,
my God.
Hold on. Hold on. Can you play the trailer for this? Actually,
we got it, yeah. What?
hold on.
I love Matthew McConaughey.
One small problem. Hi, I'm Ralph. I'm his brother.
That's Gary Oldman.
That's Gary Oldman?
Yeah. It can tear them apart.
He's a shapeshifter.
I know that everyone in your family's a midget.
They're not midgets, Carol. Dwarfs.
Whatever.
Or bring them.
His family is dwarfs, but Matthew McConaughey is a normal-sized person.
Gary Oldman.
Which is a
Matthew
real
McConaughey.
thing that happens. That actually happens.
Yeah, no, I know it is, but like,
And over behind the bars.
this is a movie just like it's kooky, like it's like weird.
You could never make this movie now.
No, but this is a strange movie to make. That movie, so like he goes from like playing the scariest person in like Leon the Professional, and he's like, I'll do that after this, and it's like, what? Dude, what is your filter for movies? Just none? You have no filter? You just do whatever you want?
He's probably like, that sounds difficult to do.
He's like a weird, cool, kooky actor. He's like, that sounds interesting. Let's do that. Yeah, that's real cool. And you're like, really? He's like, yeah.
It's like smoking a cigarette and doing a line in his bathroom.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Just putting it out on his wife. Yeah, she likes it too. She's into
Stick your
it.
tongue out then, babe.
Stick your tongue out there. Ew. That's some gross, weird, like if like Ozzy Osbourne
Well, it's the only way
was
to
like
put
Jack
a cigarette in your
Sparrow.
body that's not going to hurt.
It won't hurt.
You well up spit in your tongue and you put it out in the spit.
I didn't know that.
That's how you do the trick.
John is fired, so we're gonna replace him with someone who looks believable.
With Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman playing a 12-year-old Asian boy.
No, Gary Oldman playing me.
No, Gary Oldman playing a 12-year-old Asian boy playing you.
Yeah, has 4 wigs on.
I'm a dude disguised as another dude.
Dude, that's another movie that like you could not make that today at all.
No.
But the thing with it is that like it's a ridiculous method actor in the movie being a method actor playing someone who's black. Like that's how it works. It's not Robert Downey Jr. in blackface. It's Robert Downey Jr. as a ridiculous method actor who wants
is
to be in
blackface.
blackface.
Right.
Which is absurd.
Who
Which
gets
is absurd.
surgery to alter his appearance.
Yeah, it literally gets like skin dye. Like not even That movie is hilarious. That's a ridiculous movie.
That is a wild movie.
I just love when
Tom
the bombs
Cruise.
first start going off, and they're like, "Oh, it looks so real."
People were getting blown up.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise is in that movie, and people don't realize.
I didn't realize the first time I watched it. I did not realize Tom Cruise.
Do you know who Tom Cruise is in that movie?
I haven't seen that movie in
He's
forever.
he's Wes Grossman, not something like that.
I
He's
think
the
that's his
agent,
name.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's the fucking
he's the
agent.
guy with the huge like producer hands who's
Yeah.
like
The huge producer hands. Tom Cruise, Tropic Thunder.
Why is it still in all caps?
I told you, it's cruise control for cool. There he is. Tom Cruise, ladies and gentlemen. It's him.
insane.
I mean, if you look at the eyes, like, and ignore the nose, you can see it. Like eyes and mouth.
Yeah.
Like that's
Fucking
Why are
look
his
at
hands
those.
so big?
Look at those hands. Oh my
Those
god.
his actual hands.
No,
Look
definitely
at,
not.
look at that shit. All the hair. Oh man. Look at that face. That's Tom Cruise.
There he
Love
is.
that. They really went bananas with this
Yeah.
movie. And like, there's a little side by side for you.
Just like a 2008 fucking classic.
He's also like 2 feet tall.
yeah, he is.
He's pocket sized action hero.
Yeah.
Do you know also too when he was they have like graphs that show like before he got his teeth fixed, one of his teeth was symmetrical with his nose. Like one of his two front teeth was like right
Whoa.
in line with his nose. Yeah.
All right, I gotta look at that.
And you know what's good is I think we've earned doing all this stuff because we did really cover time management well. So I think
We've earned the shenanigans.
Tom Cruise teeth.
Tooth.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, okay. There's your symmetry. Let's open a new
Now
tab.
you can never unsee that.
I've seen this before.
Tom Cruise's middle tooth. Let's check it out. Oh yeah.
There it is, people.
Boom. Look at that. It's like somebody installed his mouth off center.
I just can't unsee it now. You just can't unsee that.
Yep, there he
You've
is.
ruined Tom Cruise for everybody.
Nope.
All right, so
Time management?
time management. So we're good at that. We can do that good.
We do those things.
But my brain is like I have to take my brain from like cotton candy machine mode to just like outputting information. You just open it, just it's like
Just the couch that Tom Cruise was jumping on from Oprah.
have you ever seen those videos of like the
I'm in love.
have you ever, what is it? Those memes of like the guy who's like this, and it's just like his head is like a microwave, and his brain is in the microwave. Yeah, the best one is the one where his head is flat and it has like the things that are in like doctors' offices that kids can play with, like the
diorama.
like the rings that are on the wire.
yeah.
It's just-
I've seen those. I think they used to call them Wojaks. A Wojak, right?
dude,
So funny. Bro, there was I actually heard somewhere too
Oh my
that for
God.
American Psycho, Christian Bale's inspiration
Oh, yeah, was
for
Tom
that
Cruise.
character was Tom Cruise on Oprah when he was so excitedly happy but nothing behind the eyes.
Yeah.
Like hollow happiness.
it's like no emotion. Guys,
Oh my
haven't
God.
guys haven't felt anything ever.
Hold on,
That
one
was
more time
that
over
long
here,
ago?
Ryan.
I love my wife. I'm in love.
Fucking
It's like frighteningly good. Yeah, no, it's
more
that
caffeine.
was around the same time. I didn't realize that would happen like before
yeah, that was
American Psycho.
That was American Psycho.
Yeah,
that happened before
because American Psycho was what, like 2000? Wait, no. When was American Psycho? I wanted to say like 2005, but maybe it's before that.
American Psycho was made
2000.
in 2000.
Yeah.
When the fuck was? So that had to have been what, like 99,
It must have
98?
been. Tom
The
Cruise-
couch jumping thing?
Yeah.
I thought that was like when we were in high school.
Yeah. Dude, this guy at this point is just running off of like makeup and like adrenochrome. Like he's just like
There's just a kid with his skull open backstage and a straw in it.
Oh
And he's
my
just like,
god, just eating kids. Like what is it? A fucking Futurama.
You know what I mean? He's like,
Capri Sun toddler. Oh shit. We broke Ryan. Dude, the brain bug from Starship Troopers. Like a cheek.
the brain bug. It's just like,
God, I love that shitty movie.
That
I love
scene,
that shitty movie.
dude, it's a
I loved it.
ridiculous movie.
I'm doing my part.
standing on top of the bug, just blasting a hole in its shell,
It's
throwing
ridiculous.
a grenade in
The whole
it.
movie's insane.
The whole movie is just
Oh,
like,
guys.
it's like Mike Ironside, like just bangs a line and is like, all right, so there's these bugs.
They're like, we like it, Mike Ironside. Let's do it. So, anywho,
Well, so I think the whole point of the episode, to get back to the series, it's like how do we transition from like that to that, you know?
right now, ready? Time management. We're back.
Well, this is exactly what happens. It's
Yeah.
like we're fucking.
This is what happens in my brain when you guys aren't here. It's just this podcast, and we're just like, oh!
the whole time.
Chimping. Just
The whole
chimping.
time. Well, and the other thing that happens to me is that I'll get stuck in the what do I do next anxiety and then do nothing.
Yeah.
That happens to me a lot. Like I'll have a
Decision anxiety.
task list. I don't know how to stick to one thing.
Yeah.
So I end up touching 20, 25 different tasks and never completing any one of them.
You're just playing Twister with your life. And never actually you're just
No,
Right
absolutely.
hand red. I don't see any red. Oh God. Oh wait.
But so this being the issue that we have these issues with time management, what are some ways that we can reel it in and help ourselves to get better with that? That can then maybe help the listeners as well. Viewers now.
Well, don't do what we just did for the last 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Or do, because that's how we, how we run
If you
a
want
podcast.
to be cool,
What
then
makes
do
it
that.
entertaining, okay?
That's how I do with
So
the red.
So what we've done for our time management is we've weaponized our ADD into the form of a podcast. Pay
Yeah.
us, bitches.
Here we are.
Yeah. We've just we've just filtered all of our energy into one solar beam that can just blow up the moon. Just-
Yeah. No one can focus on anything ever again, and people are just shitting in the streets and
We're just gonna
drinking
do
Monster Energy.
We're gonna do some weird Tim Burton Batman plot where we're just gonna give everyone ADD through the TV. They're just
Or some Ivan Ooze bullshit. We're I'm going to ruin the world by making the children unruly.
yeah. I will.
Well,
The kids will run awry and run amok.
the Edward
They'll
Enigma.
do nothing but eat cookies.
Yeah. It's you've been dead for
They're going
8,000
to eat
years.
cookies and shoplift small toys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like you want to take over the world. First, I will start by killing all the parents in this town of 500 people.
I make all the parents drink my strange purple cum.
I'll put it in the water.
And then
supply.
all their children become wild and crazy.
So, dude, I gotta ask, what movie are we talking about? Because I'm just
Power
playing.
Rangers?
the original Power
The
Rangers
original
movie with,
Power
with
Rangers?
Ivan Ooze.
Ivan Ooze, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what
dude.
that's from.
Ivan
Oh,
Ooze,
like the
dude.
Mighty
Yeah.
Morphin Power Rangers.
Mighty Morphin
Okay.
Power Rangers, dude.
Because you said Ivan
Movie
Ooze.
opens up, Tommy skydiving on a motherfucking snowboard,
fucking
bro.
board.
Makes
Yeah, dude.
no sense, and I love it.
That's like
Doesn't have to make sense.
Dude,
Dude,
They also go to another planet to get their animal powers,
also
So-
true.
the skydiving with the snowboard was
Dude.
probably that was 1994 to
Dude.
9, and then never again.
And then you find out that Zordon is just a dude laying down in that thing the whole time.
Yeah. He's just on a Zoom call like this. He's like, Rangers.
Rangers.
He's like, it's just, it's like
I
any
need I need 5 ornery teenagers. I also cannot ever be vertical or I'll die.
His screen orientation is like if you were on a Zoom call with anyone over 60, they're just like,
Just
how you
breathing,
doing?
just-
Like, just like,
Grandpa, you gotta trim your nose hairs.
Just an old guy on an iPad. It's just, Ranger.
It's just, yeah, can we wrap this up because I need to alt tab back to my MILF pornography.
All of the MILF porn.
Gilf porn.
Gilf
Oh
porn.
no.
It's like flesh colored raisins.
No, it's with liver spots.
Sometimes
Removable.
those come off. Yeah.
Removable liver spots. Ryan's getting car batteried.
It's like an Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom when she drinks the blood out of the skull and he's just like, oh! Oh! It just gives him nightmares. Dude, that movie. They went from the first one, which was all fun. Well, actually, no. The first one was like fun and kooky, and then the end was like, oh shit, this isn't fun and kooky at all. Kick your ass shut. It's like, bam, bam. The fucking Nazis melting.
Melting
You know?
Nazis.
And then the second one was like, what if we take the end of the first movie and make the whole movie that? And it was ripping out hearts, eating fucking monkey brains, big bugs and shit. Do you know? Apparently, was it Goldie Hawn? Was Goldie Hawn the person that was in that movie? Was that Goldie Hawn? Whoever the blonde chick was in that movie, they literally had to sedate her, kind of, when they did the scene with the giant bugs, because all those bugs are real.
Oh shit.
Those bugs that are on her are all real. So she had to be sedated to do that.
I don't know if we can play that.
I don't think we
I
can.
just want to take a look at it.
Indian Jones. Indian Jones. Indian Jones. It's me. It's me, Indian Jones.
It's me.
Go to images.
Images. Here we go. Oh, this one, right?
Yeah, I think that's Goldie Hawn. No,
Oh.
is that?
No, I don't think it is
no,
actually.
it's not Goldie Hawn.
But yeah, all that shit.
But that's the scene. Yeah, I remember.
Those bugs were just they're yeah,
Oh.
there they are.
Not
a
as
lot of-
bad. Not as bad as the King Kong scene.
Oh, Kate
Kate
Capshaw.
Kate Capshaw.
What the fuck is that?
Here today, gone tomorrow. Don't know. I haven't seen her in any other movies. Crazy.
Anyway, well, there's a few ways you can approach it. So I think one of the things you can do is that if you don't have any structure, you can like again, like for example, like if let's say if you're going to martial arts, you're going to the gym once a week or a couple times a week, trying to build a base structure around a commitment, and then from there, once you do that for let's say a certain amount of time that you feel comfortable with, then you can slowly start branching out from there. Because that's really the way to build time management and habits. A lot of time is to tack on new things and build off of things you already do that your brain doesn't have to think about doing. That's one way to do it. The other way to do it, even before that stage, is to like, again, I'm kind of taking from Jordan Peterson here, but it's like taking the most minimal thing that you know that you could achieve, that you know from your own estimation that you can do, and then like that's what you start with. That's what you do. Like the most minimum amount of movement forward. Be like, hey, okay, so like I'm gonna, because this is what I do is I'm like, all right, I really got to work on getting up at 8 a.m. Okay, but when I get up at 8 a.m., I should probably meditate before I do anything else. And if I'm going to meditate, then I got to make sure that my diet's on point, and then I got to make sure I'm doing this, and then you know. Then I'm talking about remodeling the house and changing the oil in my car, and then I wake up and I don't do anything. There's 18 things that I have to do that I haven't actually planned for because I don't have the time management experience to actually be like, okay, but can I actually? Because a lot of time management is experience and like foresight to be like, hey, do I have time to do these 5 things?
Well,
or
what
like,
I've found, and the advice that I constantly give you is that you need to set yourself up the day before, and that's the hardest part. Like, and I'm guilty of it too, but like I'm at a point now where like I've got certain things down to a science, you know, like because especially like when you have issues, you know, if like anything that we're diagnosed with, depression, ADHD, all that nonsense, you know, what makes it super difficult is like, let's say you're trying to pick out your outfit for the day, right? And it's like, okay, dresser. Okay, stuff on the bed. Okay, dresser. Okay, stuff on the bed. Okay, but I need workout clothes. Oh, but I need work clothes. But I also need a cup of coffee. And then you go get a cup of coffee. And you're like, oh, wait, I got to put the clothes in the bag. And then you go get back to get the clothes. And you're like, oh, but I should pick that stuff up off the floor real quick. And then you pick the stuff up off the floor. And then you go back to the bathroom. And the next thing you know, you're taking a shower. And you're like, oh, I don't have any of the clothes with me in the bathroom. And you're scooting back to the bathroom naked.
I'm showering in my clothes.
You're scooting back. Oh, there's no towel in here. You're running back naked. You're drying the floor. You know, like that's a bit of an extreme
like
example.
you start with trying to clean your room, and then you wake up and you're making eggs in the shower, and you're like, "What is happening?"
Yeah, how do we even get here? You eat oatmeal in the toilet, you know.
Your loofah is on the stove on fire.
Why are you pouring milk into the toilet? I'm making overnight oats, you know.
Like what?
Fucking what?
That has legitimately happened to me though, where like I'm trying to do something, and then all of a sudden I'm making breakfast, and I'm like, wait a minute. This is not what I was supposed to be doing. I was like, how did I get? Because like your brain has that ADD, like grabbing at stuff. So you're like, so your brain follows the just.
Ryan's popcorn malfunction.
So just like with scrolling, it's like your brain is scrolling through stuff where you're like, but it's logical. but it's almost logical in the sense of like how your ADD operates, where it's like clothes. Okay, but for clothes to be ready, that means I gotta go to work. So is everything else for work ready? Okay, if I don't have meals for work, then I gotta go cook. And then you're like, oh, you're in the kitchen, and you're like, what?
Yeah, how the fuck did we get here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, and the next thing you know, like what happens to me a lot is my workout time in the morning will get eliminated.
Yeah.
Or the other thing will happen is like if I've been especially stressed and like my brain can't handle it, it just puts me back to bed. Back to sleep.
Well, because my brain will revert to a lot of those depressive tendencies.
Yes.
Where like I will literally feel like Spaceballs tractor beam. Like a Spaceballs tractor beam to my bed where I'm like, I'm tired, and it's just, and then all of a sudden I'm laying down, but like I can literally feel like my brain turn off. Have you guys ever?
Half man, half dog.
Have you?
I'm my own best
We ain't
friend.
found shit.
That's the best scene. We ain't found shit. Get the pick.
I told you comb the desert. Don't you think you're taking him a little too literally? No, he said comb the desert, and that's exactly what we're doing. We're combing.
Have you guys felt that though? Where like my ability to make rational decisions will literally turn off, or like it's like a channel that goes off, or like I'll be like my brain will be like stressed out bed, and I'll literally lay down, and then I'm just like.
And this is where the discipline and accountability comes in, you know, like it's really all discipline, and it's really all kind of pushing through those things, even when you feel like shit, which is difficult. It's not fucking easy, and it's not easy to do all the time. You're not going to be 100% successful with that. And anybody who says that they are is a fucking bullshit artist. I love Tony Robbins' content. I love the things that he says. I think he's a brilliant, inspiring man. But I also had this issue listening to the most recent Sober October episode of the Rogan podcast. Oh. And all 4 of them are all talking about like, oh yeah, you know, my my $15,000 ice bath and my this and my that. And Ari Shafir actually is the one that brings up. He goes, people can't fucking relate to this, guys. He's like, like, what do people do? He's like, how do you do that? You just get bags of ice and put them in your fucking tub.
Yeah.
Get a plastic tub and do that.
Yeah.
And then Bert Kreischer is even like, he goes, that does get pricey too. He's like, 'cause we did that on the road and we were buying bags of ice and trying to take ice baths and shit like that. And he's like,
It's like it was like $5-6 a bag.
yeah,
for the 5-pound bags.
it adds up. It like really adds up. So we're coming from this place of like, how do you do this on a realistic middle class to lower class budget? Like we don't make a lot of money. We're living by the skin of our teeth.
And even just dealing with that type of socioeconomic situation of like what your
Right.
life is like with like working in a regular 9-to-5 job, because we're all, as we know, wages.
Right. Wages. Oh my god. And I don't date wages.
Instant nosebleed. Hey,
yeah.
you're not dating. Hey, you know what else? Let's make it easy for you. You're not dating anybody.
Yeah.
So
Well, it probably is. That's the hard part. That's the problem.
you're gonna be 40
Well, there's-
and alone.
Yeah,
Garbage.
As soon as those looks
You're
go,
garbage.
As soon as those looks go, see you later. Bye.
Yep.
That's how you get those plastic people living at parsnips, trying to, the cougars trying to pick up young men.
I just don't want to be alone anymore.
I can take my teeth out.
That's not a cougar. That's a dinosaur, John.
I'm horny.
I'm so horny. I'm gonna come. I'm gonna come.
It just comes out red with hair in it. Like it's just, there's a lot of red hair.
Yarn.
There's a-
Yarn.
He's just. How does he have so much?
many rings when I close my eyes. All these fucking lights.
Oh, there's a lot of lights here, boys and girls.
Oh,
I hope it looks good for all you people.
I think it does. I mean, I'm looking at the wide shot. It looks pretty
But so
sexy, silky smooth.
So the whole idea is that we can figure out how to do it for ourselves and then create something that makes it easier for other people to do.
Yeah, a lot of it is just.
Even if it's just listening to us. Even if it's just listening.
Yeah, I mean, well, I was gonna say though, a lot of the ways that I get through the rigmarole, the way I get through the bullshit that I need to deal with, the list of things that you gotta finish by the end of the day is like, I try to give myself a reward to look forward to. Try to give myself something to do after I'm done, because if I have shit to do and I just fuck off and it just looms over my head, I can't enjoy anything else until it gets done. Like if I got dishes sitting around, my goddamn, I'm gonna get like absolutely like lambasted if Carrie comes home and the apartment looks like garbage,
Yeah.
So I just need to take care of all the shit, and then I'm able to relax, which doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good knowing that you have shit to get done, and if you don't get it done, you're gonna be in a bad situation. But I do my best to get that out of the way and say, all right, now I got this one last thing to do, and then I can play video games, and then I can relax, or like, and then there's one more thing, like I'll have lunch, take care of this, and then I'll do a little Minecraft or something, But like, it's just, I can't, if I don't get that shit done first, I feel guilty the whole fucking time.
I found that makes a lot of sense, because you need to be able to, because tethering your rewards to actual meaningful progress takes discipline. Because it's very easy in today's society to just be able to reward yourself. You're like, hey, you know what? I just got up. It's time for me to come.
This is
Every
my
guy's
phone.
problem. Let me wake up, and now it's time for me to come.
And the day's over again.
Yeah.
This is my phone, my camera, and my cum machine.
Well, it's like
Which button makes me? Which button makes me come? Just looking for the.
Well, you ever gotten up early to go to the gym and then you jerk off and then you're like, I can stay home for another 3 hours.
Yeah, and then your life is ruined. You ever jerk off in the morning, then your life is ruined? Yeah.
Yeah.
Every man ever.
Oh,
You're like,
you know
this
what?
day-
Xbox is real. You know, I haven't played Xbox at 8 a.m. in a long time. I guess let me go do that. You know.
Yeah,
Dude, that's like the video game version of like going to like a matinee like movie. You just come outside, you're like,
Yeah,
where
you just start and end your day at the same time.
yeah.
It's like,
But-
good morning, it's over.
But I think a good way to look at it is, and this is something that I've noticed over time is that development and growth is all like humans. I think are totally based off of momentum. Like it's all momentum, and I think where momentum starts is like literally starting with triple S, small sustainable steps. Right. All right, never mind.
All right. Just get up.
John just runs through the screen.
I'm just picturing one of those like one of those videos where it's like I can take you from $0 to $15 million in the next
I could take you
5
from
years
$0 to
with
15 grand in debt.
Simple steps. The 3 S's. Small, sustainable steps. Click the link below to watch the full video.
Give me all your money,
and it's like an
I'll
hour.
fuck your wife.
It's like an hour and a half, and the first hour,
Dude, it's
like the
nothing.
first like 70 minutes.
No
of it
substance.
is like how bad your life is, and how much don't you wish your life didn't suck so much?
And so much of these people
don't
are like,
you wish you weren't
yeah.
as much of a piece of shit?
And you're like,
knowing that you have no money for the low price of $1,500, you could buy my complete course, no hidden fees.
For 3 easy payments of $499.99, I could turn you into Dwayne the Rock
yeah,
Johnson.
for 50 easy payments of $89.95, it's like that's $12,000.
It's all steroids, ephedrine, and caffeine. That's
Yeah.
all it
And
is.
enthusiasm. It's
Yeah.
so
Dude, it
much
has to be
enthusiasm.
enthusiasm. It's not sleep because that guy's like, I sleep 40 minutes a night. I'm like, dude.
And the Polynesian tattoos are pretty sweet too.
Yes.
Pacific Islander artwork.
But legitimately though, you know, like starting with small sustainable steps, like it really is like and it goes back to the Jordan Peterson thing of like what is. Take the most minimum, like first figure out what your goals are. Take the most minimum step that you can do that will move you forward, that will actually move you forward. It could be 0.5%, but then do that. Figure out something by your own estimation of something that you can't talk yourself out of doing that you know you could do right now. Then do it. And then just keep doing that. And then over time, it'll start compounding. And then you'll start, because again, it's like with that 2% growth, now you have like almost like 2% more ammo to and fuel to kind of like keep moving forward. So it starts compounding and you're able to move forward more. But with those, you got to start really small. Like for me, actually, so for this whole month so far, I've been meditating every day. So I've been back on that. So like so this is, I think, I'm like 2 weeks in, I think. And I just do it right before I go to bed. I'm like, you know what? And it helps get me into bed. But I'm like, every day is like I came back from the fucking wedding and I'm like, I'm going to meditate.
Apparently, we could do the meditation challenge if we don't tell anyone.
Well, yes, but that's a weird thing with. I don't know how I feel about like it's a weird spooky thing with telling people goals. I don't know if I believe it or not. Of like the whole thing of like keep your goals and stuff to yourself because then like they lose power if you tell them to other people. Sometimes
Well, here's the
I don't
thing.
know about
here's
that.
the thing. Okay, so like I have a tendency of telling people the shit that I'm working on. Like I have a tendency of telling people the things that are coming up. Right, like our recent competition. I loved telling people I'm going to compete in October, and a lot of
it was super exciting.
And the big reason I was excited and I was nervous and I wanted to talk about it. It was the thing on the top of my mind, and people would ask me what's going on. Oh, I'm competing in a few weeks, you know.
Yeah.
And then what happened? The trip got canceled.
Yeah.
And we can't go. So it's like the trip gets canceled. Now you're not competing. Now you look bad because you can say to somebody, like I remember I had a client. And I was telling him, like, oh, man, I'm going to try to PR my power clean. My goal is 225 by the end of July. Then I, like, tweaked something, and then it just didn't happen. And then, like, I ran into that thing where it was, like, in the mornings I wasn't working out. My consistency fell off a little bit. And then when you tell people those goals, especially in a professional environment, how do you tell them, like, oh, I was pretty depressed this month, so, like, it was really difficult for me to get to the gym. You can't fucking tell them that. So you just look like a bitch. You just look like a little bitch.
Or even worse, you just look like you don't.
You're all talk. To back to the discipline part of things, like this is why we train, and this is what's so important about like finding a pursuit that requires your discipline, that requires your whatever it is. And I do think it's important that pursuit is physical. That's the whole point of the Bao, the Kung Fu Bao. The warrior and the scholar come together and become one. It's the meeting of body and mind, and you're celebrating and honoring the meeting of body and mind before you show the thing that you have had to combine your body and mind in order to get and understand. Like, there's so much within our forms, so much within what we do, right? But now, it's not so easy in modern times to let that bleed into not only your day-to-day and your time management, but like who you are as an individual. Like we know people that like they'll say that their art and their practices help them overcome their ego, but really they're just conflating their ego by saying it. Yeah. They're being big ego by talking about how small their ego is.
Look how fucking humble I am.
I'm fucking humble.
The most humble. I'm the most humble and enlightened.
The most humble. The hugest practitioner of humbability. Okay?
Huge.
Humbability.
No, but we have the smallest ego. The smallest ego.
Smallest ego, biggest penis.
Biggest penis. Ego is opposite of my penis.
Inverse relationship.
Inverse relationship.
But I was gonna say that we've all met people that like they want to talk about. They have these delusions of grandeur where they have all these plans and they say I'm gonna do this. We're gonna like this. There's one guy I knew from my high school that just like he was really into music and he didn't really make that great music. He was like, hey, we're gonna start a movement. There's like this group. He would always like change his stage name and like had all these like delusions of grandeur and like he's living in shelters and like it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. Like where he's at and it's like I got a lot of love for him, but it's just like a really difficult situation. But it's all talk, and it's like I see stuff like that and it's just like. It motivates me to just kind of do before I say, like
I saw a lot of that, especially when I was like renting practice spaces, back in the day in bands when like, you'd pay monthly for this rehearsal studio that was kind of like your little apartment for the band that you guys would go to and have access to. And like, I remember there was one that we rented out, who he was like a dude that knew like a bunch of the bands that were like local. I'm not gonna say any names, but like a bunch of local bands that got pretty big back when we were like late high school, after high school kind of era. Like those kinds of bands. Some of the big names like Taking Back Sunday, brand new. You know what I mean? Like those bands actually in there start rented from this guy, right?
Right.
And there was this little rehearsal studio down in Nassau County, and I remember there was this one dude who would always throw these big parties and act like he was this star and moved here from California and made this story like he would always wear like these 70s style open shirts with the gold chain and he's all slender and he had a big afro and like his his I think his real name was like Aaron or something like that.
It definitely was
Aaron.
Aaron.
But he went by like some fucking stage name.
Gerard.
You know what I mean?
He was just dressed like when you dress her.
Dude, I don't even remember.
Tanner.
I don't even remember what he
Tanner.
called himself, but it wasn't a name.
It was something
It
bad.
was like something,
it was an adjective.
Yeah, like
Silky.
plus love or some shit like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and
What was the fucking Bernadoodle? The plus
Highfalutin.
Highfalutin. His name is
some
Highfalutin.
kind of highfalutin stage name he went by. But there was always beautiful women around, and there was always all these people, and it was because he was providing drugs and alcohol and a place to do them.
Yeah, people flock to that guy.
And all his music was pop music, and it was like, he made it like he was moving to New York to pursue his career, but it's like you moved here with your parents. Don't fucking pretend. Stop fucking pretending.
Yeah. You've got a bedroom, not an apartment.
Right. And like
It's a small apartment.
And like
It's a bedroom.
the grandioseness of his career went slowly into like just like he's just like a dude now, like just living with his wife and kids,
Regular guy.
But the idea is that
I know lots of people who have done that, who pretended to be stars and then are just like living regular lives now. And then back in the day, they would act like they were these big important people. They act like they were stars.
it's just the facade can't be kept up.
Yeah, they're
right, but like you live with your mom, like shut up.
yeah,
You
they're
know what I mean?
convincing
Just like be
themselves.
okay with it.
Yeah.
They're convincing themselves of this image that they want to be, they want to portray without actually doing any of the things they're talking about. Or maybe they're making
even if they
attempts.
have talent, even if they're making music or whatever it is, and they have talent at their pursuit, at their art. You know what I mean? And they want to be these stars. So they fake it till they make it, and they pretend to be these stars. But who really makes it? The people that are the most humble. The people who are just dedicated to their craft, like Dimebag Darrell. I read this interesting article about like how Dave Grohl, when he like filled in for a band, like the Foo Fighters filled in for a band, and Pantera, it was like all these heavy metal bands were playing, and it was like all like the big three, like Pantera, Metallica, Megadeth, like all that shit, and then the Foo Fighters come out, and they were expecting like to be hated, and he didn't know what to do, and then he said Dimebag came into his dressing room or like the green room, wherever the fuck they were backstage,
Hey, brother.
with like a bottle of whiskey and like was just doing shots. Was like, so tell me about yourself. You know what I mean? And, like just introduced himself. And,
bottle
like,
of Crown Royal.
made him feel really comfortable. And like now that's what Dave Grohl does. He walks around with a bottle of whiskey and like introduces himself to everybody and does shots at people and like
Like daily life at family functions. Hey, Grandma, tell me
Tell me about
yourself.
yourself.
You're pretty cool, just relax, be yourself. Honey, this is Thanksgiving. we're all amongst family.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like so like these big important figures, like what are they really doing? Like I read an article, or I saw an interview once where Dimebag's brother, it was right after he died, and Dimebag's brother was talking about how like he would take the guitar with him to the bathroom. So he'd be sitting on the toilet, going through scales.
That's
'Cause he
my
was
poop
just-
guitar.
He was just, but
That guitar is gross.
he just didn't want to stop playing.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like sometimes as we get older, it's easy to be that way when we're younger. But as we get older, sometimes it's even increasingly difficult as our energy levels diminish, as our bodies feel sore, as our responsibilities grow, and like the areas in our lives that we want to push further into, like financially and status wise. Like, do I have my own car? Do I have my own house? Do I have all these things? And like, while some of them are important and some of them aren't, like like mobility is important, but a BMW is not. Having a roof over your head is important, but owning a house really isn't. You know what I mean? Like it is and it isn't. You want to talk about long-term financial shit? This isn't the podcast for that. But I'm talking about like making the life
no
that
money.
you want. None of us do. But making the life
I have
that you
negative
want
money.
possible.
We owe people money.
We actually do. We're all in debt.
Yes.
I'm actually not. I have car payments, but that's really it.
Well, good for you.
John, I sentence you to debt. You have debt now.
I mean, eventually I will.
You will take out a credit card and you will max it out and not pay.
Hey, will be one of us. One of us. But
Just student loans and shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's really all about like walking the walk, because it's easy to talk the talk. It's easy to portray this image that of where you want to wind up. But it doesn't mean shit unless you do something about it, like play your guitar in the fucking toilet or train. We did a little bit of Tai Chi before we recorded this episode, just something, something to keep your shit rolling, and it all ties into us having this project as an accountability project. This is us.
Yes,
we
it
talk
does.
the talk and walk the walk.
It does, and we don't always, and some of it, and this is I think a little bit where maybe I go overboard sometimes, but there is an element of tough love that you need to apply to yourself as well, and there's an element of tough love that you need to accept from outside sources. That's very difficult. You know what I mean?
Nudges.
Because if you just continually tell people a little is enough, it's fucking not. A little is not enough. A little over time becomes a lot. That's enough. A little every day can be enough, but it can't just be a little tiny bit every single day. If you only practice for 10 minutes a day, you're not going to get the skill that you want, especially when you're talking about martial arts.
Right.
You need hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of dedicated practice to a craft in order to do it. So it's at a certain point, you have to, be hard on yourself and be like, no, I got to get the fuck up and I got to do what I got to do. There's value in the ability to be hard on yourself and to be able to handle it and take it. I mean, like how weak are we?
But to your point, Ed, so what you're saying makes complete sense. What I'm talking about, though, is how to get to that mindset of where you can be like that, which I think starts with, because I think if you're hard on yourself and have no discipline, you're not gonna move forward. You're just gonna feel like shit and then still not complete anything. You know what I mean? Which is like what happens to us sometimes, where like you think back to like your early to mid 20s. And like me a couple of years ago, where it's like I know what I got to do, but there's like no foundation at all to do it, and you're just like parking brake on, just not moving, just revving the engine. Where there's all this momentum in your head, but there's no actual movement like existentially forward. Mm-hmm. So like using this, yes, over time, I agree and disagree with what you're saying, because over time. Yes, it may not be the same as, let's say, like a 10 minutes a day is not the same as you doing an hour a day. Of course not. But the idea is that to get to that point where you can even have the mindset to be like, no, I can't, like, I got to fucking buckle down and do this. It's like if you have no base or structure of discipline or any sort of consistency, you're not going to be able to do that. So it's like having that as a starting spot to then, it's all about building foundation. Like that's what I'm saying, is it's all sustainable momentum. If you're not building off of any sort of momentum to go from like zero to like, I got to get this shit done. It's like,
yeah, but where do you go once the foundation is built? How do you go further? Or you just keep making your foundation wider and wider and wider and wider and wider, right? How do you start building upwards then if you don't have accountability for yourself, or if you can't accept harsh criticism from people that might be correct?
No. You're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with what you're saying. I'm saying what I'm saying comes before what you're saying.
Okay.
They're not in direct conflict.
Okay.
I'm saying to get to where you want to be, to have the mindset of like, I gotta fucking get this shit done. You need a base first of like, okay, I've done some shit. Now I see the benefit of it. Now my brain's in that I gotta do shit mindset, and then you can build into that.
What does it take, like 2 months to build a habit like that?
That's bullshit. That's like that whole like 21-day thing that's not a real metric. That's not real. But it's like an old wives' tale. But
it doesn't take a day. That's
It's about 4.5 hours.
Because
just sit there and-
because they say you can build a habit in 20 days, and they're the people that have quit smoking for years and then go right back to it. So it's like, everything can be undone. Nothing is permanent.
Well, yeah. I mean, even habits aren't permanent.
Right, but I think the thing that frustrates me the most, and not even just about other people, but about myself, I see it in myself, and I do my best to push past it for myself. But at the same time, I see other people that are just kind of spinning the rim, never making it into the net.
They're rimming.
They're rimming.
Rimming.
I was trying not to say it, but
A little tongue punch to the fart box,
oh my god!
Always,
all my points are just ruined.
always teasing and never tasting the sweet shit of life.
Oh god!
What were you saying, Ed?
I'm so sad.
None of it matters. None of it matters anymore. I was saying what frustrates me the most is people that like spin in this limbo of like level 1. Like, they just stay on level 1 because you know what hurts? Because so like it takes like the first amount of effort, the first building. Like let's say you're really fat, you're really overweight, and you want to lose weight. The first however overweight you are, depending, but like the first multiple pounds of fat is not going to be that hard to lose. The first time you do it, it's going to be really, it's not easy. It's not easy to do, but your body's going to respond differently. You're going to get those initial strength gains.
Right.
You're going to
Same thing with gaining muscle. The early stimulation is going to be
right.
quite excessive.
So that jump is addicting, right? And then you get caught at the plateau. The dangerous plateau, where it takes significant changes and alterations in order to not backtrack. And most people get plateau, backtrack, plateau, backtrack, plateau, backtrack. And you and I can list on one hand people that we see on a semi-daily basis that do this to themselves. That like I want to take their necks and strangle them. It just frustrates me.
Ed wants to help them by ending their life.
Shake them
prematurely.
Fucking
It's
grab
like a
them
goose.
and fucking shake them.
Yeah. Dude, don't you listen? Listen, every time I see a goose, I'm like, I better be really fun to strangle that. Not that I would. I'm just saying.
Look at all the neck space.
Dude, you could fit.
You're just saying that because their necks are dick shaped.
You could fit. You could. It could be both of your hands and
probably
3 of your
soft.
friends' hands as well around that thing's neck, and just fucking.
Do like the baseball thing, like who gets the bat first.
And then ends up getting bit by a beaked bird.
Pete is going to come after us for this episode. They're promoting goose cruelty.
Goose crime. We're promoting goose crime.
You ever see is it Goose Simulator? The Goose game? There's like a Goose game on. I have it on Switch.
Goat Simulator.
Well, there's Goat Simulator, but there's like it's like the Goose game. I forget what it is.
Goose
And
Trek.
You're just like you're a goose that causes mischief, and it's fucking awesome.
Dude, also just known as being a goose. They're horrifying.
Yeah, they're terrible. They just shit everywhere and get in the way.
They roll
You go
little
near them and
cigars.
just go. Why do you
Their little
hiss?
teeth- their little teeth inside their
Yeah,
beak.
they got teeth down their whole throat. Yeah, their neck is made of.
God's just like, yeah, we'll make them horrible. Make them hiss too. They'll hiss. They'll also hiss. We're gonna make them hiss. It's like, why? What? I'm God. It's like, okay, they'll hiss.
Fine, whatever.
Wait, we're making a bird.
Yeah, I thought this was a cat.
Like the drunk day he made a platypus.
Yeah.
He's like, fucking, oh.
There's shit eggs. What?
we only have-
There's shit eggs.
We only have headless beavers.
And eggs.
We only have headless. Put a beak on that shit. What? Put a beak on a beaver. Why? I fucking said so. All we have left are bills. Okay, fine. Put the bill on
Put
it
a
then.
goose egg in its ass.
I've got some venom sacs here. We can make them venomous.
But put it in its hind legs.
Let's do it right there.
That whole day is him just pointing with a cigarette. Just yeah.
Just drunk.
Do it!
Drunk beaver duck that can inject venom.
Why
in
is
you.
God
Let's
played
go.
by Jeff Bridges?
Hey man,
The dude abides.
that's just like your
abides.
opinion, man.
Yeah,
The
but
bug really pulled the room together.
yeah.
Drinking
God.
half and half.
So
out of
You're gonna
a jar.
die, Lebowski.
anyway, there's like, for instance, my mom sometimes gets very upset with the things that are said to me by teachers, if she ever hears them. So I don't tell her anymore. But like, let's say when I was younger and I was living at home and I was training, and something would happen and I'd be processing it, and she'd be like, "What's going on? How was your day?" And then I would just like vomit it out, because sometimes I don't know how to not to say things. So I would vomit it out, and the next thing you know, she's like, "Well, they didn't need to talk to you like that, and you this and you that, and blah, blah, blah." But at the same time, like, maybe it was a good thing. Maybe I needed to hear that. Maybe even though it hurt, it was a good thing for me to experience. Maybe when you love somebody, you're willing for them to be mad at you, for you to tell them the real things, the real truth. You know? Maybe loving somebody isn't always being nice to them and fucking making them feel good. Maybe loving somebody means sometimes you got to hurt their feelings.
I think, you should have, and if you being a best friend or a high quality friend or family member, you have to hold yourself and hold those, like, if you're one of those people, you have to hold yourself or hold the people in your life that take on those roles to higher standards. It's, anyone can just blow smoke up your ass. Be like, oh my God, like, what a dick. No, totally. Yeah, you're a bad bitch for sure. And it's like, no, maybe you're not a bad bitch. Maybe you're being a maybe you're emotionally, or like, but for anything, like for me, like, hey, like, I understand you got this shit going on, but like, maybe you gotta like finally just bite the bullet and get your shit together and like just go to bed when you say you're gonna go to bed. Like, I know you got shit going on, but just fucking go to bed when you go to bed when you have to, so you can get up on fucking time. Like, just fucking, like, I got, like, that happened to me the other day actually. What is it? Sorry.
Buffering.
Danny
Buffering.
Actually.
Buffering.
One of my other best friends.
His other ginger.
He fucking. I got a very long, tough love text from him. He sent me because I had shit going on with one of my other friends, and he was like, "Listen, bro," he's like, "I love you, but like, you're fucking all over the place." And he's like, "You're being irresponsible. You're doing this. You're doing that, and you got to stop." And I was like,
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
I am no longer friends with you. No, but I was like, but then afterwards,
Hey, you edited a reel for the podcast, so thank you. It's progress.
first and last.
It's all happening.
But it's but then we spoke about it on the phone, and I like gave feedback, and I was like, listen, like, I think a lot of what you're saying makes sense. I appreciate it. I get it. I think you're right. Here's where I don't agree. Here's why. And we fucking spoke about it.
I'm going to need you to go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I'm going to need you to never talk to me again.
Well, that's the thing. Like, so many people will take harsh criticism and then just fucking shit all over you. You know what I mean? Like, they won't.
Yeah.
People can't handle it. Yeah. And especially what your ego is not going to allow those things in. And our teachers destroy our egos constantly.
Oh, yeah.
Constantly.
You'll just do something. You're like, that was good. They were like, hey, dude, that was the worst thing
really
I've ever
bad.
seen. And you were like,
that was really bad.
Dude,
That's almost a compliment.
I got
actually.
long range. I got long range knocked down by a Leo. Yeah, like I was. It was before my high yellow test, and I was doing Yoshwan in the corner, and like from across the school, he sees me, he goes, "Gordo, that looks like shit." He goes, "Slow down." Like, it was just
got
like
sniped.
Yeah, I got sniped by Leo. So I got 360 no scope.
You got
he
you
did
got
the
to be
same
ready
thing
at
to
all
me.
times.
He's like, I'm so glad you guys aren't competing this month anymore. He's like, because your footwork sucks. He's like, anybody who knows what they're doing is going to see that footwork and fucking kill you. And I was like, thank you, sir.
They say stuff just to keep you on your toes. You got to be ready.
Yeah.
Like I remember right before we got to sparring, I was standing there with Danny because Danny was there taking pictures.
It's hard to turn that off too. Like, as a teacher, you can't do that all the time.
No,
it's hard to turn it off.
And I was standing there with Danny, and Sifu Nick, like the most chill, tame Sifu, comes over to me, and he's just like,
"Hey man."
He's like, "Hey man." He's like, you're about to get the shit kicked out of you, right? And I was like, "Thank you."
I heard that.
Yeah,
I was there for
he's
that.
like, you're about to get your ass
right
kicked,
before you sparred.
I was like, I know that.
It's right before you sparred.
Yes.
Nice.
Just in the middle of it, he's like, "Hey man, hey, you're getting your ass kicked?" I'm like, I know.
The most chill and dangerous person on the planet.
Dude, it's fucking
Sifu
horrifying.
Nick.
Oh my god, he's so scary.
So I get what you're saying. Like, you need to hold, like, because I do that. I hold myself to that standard a lot of the time, and not perfectly, but like, I've done that with friends where I'm like, "Hey man, like, stop doing this," or like, "This person that you keep associating with, stop doing it. Stop. They're not good for you. You're a more high value person than they are. Like, fucking step your game up." Like, like you have to be that person for other people. But again, also then transferring that to yourself, which is hard to do. It's hard to turn the mirror on yourself, even in a positive way, because we talk to ourselves like garbage all the time, and we don't have that, like, again, like treating yourself. What is it? The Jordan Peterson rule, like treating yourself as if you were taking care of someone, or treating yourself as if you were someone you were said to take care of. You were said to take care of. Where it's like you need to. Like he says, even with like getting stuff done. That's why he says, like, starting in the sustainable realm. He's like, don't tyrannize yourself. How are you gonna get anything done if you're sitting there calling yourself a fucking asshole, douchebag, scumbag? I can't do anything. He's like, start with a small thing, be proud of that, and then build on it to then do bigger stuff. But like, you can't be like, I'm gonna run a 5K even though I haven't ran before ever, and I'm gonna do it good, and if not, I'm gonna kill myself. And it's like, just, you have to be understanding of where you're starting from, and then start small, and then you can grow from there, and you can build, and you can build on it. Just, you have to, but you need something to build off of. But even with that though, it's not about doing 10 minutes a day forever and then never growing from there. Like, oh, doing a 5-minute meditation. Like, first of all, there is something to be said about doing 5 minutes every day for the rest of your life is a feat in and of itself. But on top of that, it's like, but then that's where the exponential growth comes in. It's like, okay, 5 minutes a day, you do that for a month or two. Then even if you do 7 or 10 minutes, then you've just doubled it. In 60 days, you've doubled the amount of time you were meditating for. But people don't think about it that way. They think about it, and I get caught in this, and I think we probably all do to a certain degree, but sometimes it works where we're like, we do the fuck it mindset first. You know, same thing with you, not to put you on the spot, but even like fucking throwing the cigarettes away, doing this, doing that. You're like, I'm fucking done. Your George Costanza, I'm done, Jerry. I'm done. I'm done. And then it's like,
Can't tell you while I was quit, like the years before I actually quit, the amount of
I was
times
there for most of them.
I'd be like, I said, I'm fucking done. I'd take one cigarette out and smoke it and throw the rest of the pack away.
And then you're like, this was pretty good.
Yeah. I go for 19 more.
I actually like this.
I could
19 more.
I could go for
Go for
5 more
19
years
more.
of this, I think.
Yeah.
But it's but not to put you
can
on
do
the
this
spot,
every day.
but to more of like saying it where it's like, you know, that happens to everyone with certain things. Where same thing with me. Like, fuck it, I'm canceling all these subscriptions. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm fucking stopping with the phone. I'm canceling all these apps. And sometimes it works, but you got to think about it where it's like you're going from 0 to 100 of bad behavior, then you're like, parking brake, and it's like you're still got to stop. Like the
And
car
we're
has to
spinning.
stop first. You know what I mean? So it's just build it, because you got to think. It's the same thing with kung fu. It's like, this is where it ties back into kung fu, is that our teachers always say it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. If you think about it like a sprint, it's probably not going to work, actually. If you're fucking sitting there just like, just fucking like Terminator 2, just running, it's like yeah, T-1000 running. It's like you're either going to burn out, or you're not going to train properly, or you're going to get hurt, or or mentally you're not going to be in the right character space to then make it all the way, to make it a lifetime of training. So it filters back in perfectly of
Burping in the mic.
I said,
I think it was just like,
of treating it more like a marathon and allowing yourself to have some calm in knowing, like, yes, on the one hand, life is short, totally, but on the other hand, it's like, I always think of it like this, where it's like, life is short in the sense of like, hey, don't take your family members for granted, don't take stuff for granted, but also like, it's not short in the sense where like you have to learn how to play the saxophone perfectly in one day or you're not going to learn it. It's like,
I did try that.
how did it go?
Did not work.
There you go.
Tongue was bleeding. Very uncomfortable.
But it's like with something like that, it's like you have to compartmentalize it. It's like, don't take life for granted in the sense of like super meaningful things of like people that are, or things that are going to leave. But it's like in the sense of like, hey, learning new skills, that's going to take time. You need to allow yourself the room to do that. So if you give yourself the room and you build a plan in which you know yourself and you can actually compromise with yourself a little bit, where it's not like, I haven't done anything consistent for the last 9 months, so now starting tomorrow, I'm going to be very consistent. It's like, no, you're not. You're not. So just know that and then start small so that you can be like, hey, I haven't done anything productive in the last 5 months. Let me do one thing that's productive right when I wake up. Then from there, okay, now we have a launching off point. Now, month 2, what am I going to do after that? And then a year, and then in a year from now, you're a different person. You're a different person. But again, it's that long game consistency that no one thinks about. That I have a hard time thinking about, and you probably have a hard time thinking about in the moment where it's like, it's
there's
difficult.
an element of long game consistency that I understand where you're coming from, but I think where I'm coming from is more the factor of like, I'm being healthy. I didn't have ice cream tonight, but it's like you had fucking pancakes for breakfast.
But I love ice cream.
But then what comes in with that is, not that this is the only cure, but it's like okay, but then it's like, that's why we're all here, having real people to be like, yeah, but like, let's live on fucking planet Earth though.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Exactly.
It's like having some level, because we're coming from a different spot in the sense of like, yeah, we don't have our shit together and we're not perfect by any means, but but what we do have is a healthy level of introspection and self-knowledge about where we're coming
anybody
from.
ever really has their shit together. No. I don't think anybody really ever 100%
I say that for myself just because I know I don't have my shit together. That's why I say that. But you know what I mean? But it's like,
well,
but
I'm
it's
leveling with you.
No, I got you. But it's like that's where that comes in, is the like having that healthy level of baseline introspection to be like, okay, like yeah, I'm not eating like if you think eating cake is fine because you're not doing heroin, it's like, we're not living in reality.
Yeah,
you know what I
no,
mean?
You can't lose the baby with the bathwater.
Right,
with
right.
that,
So
you
it's
know?
so it's like also starting with, but that's all where it comes back to the base things of knowing yourself, knowing what your bad habits are. Knowing it's not just knowing the good things about you, it's knowing the shitty dark sides of you too. Same thing with you of like, hey, I can't do that because I have an addictive personality, so I can't do that.
Right.
So it's like knowing yourself. You have to fucking know yourself.
Yeah, that's why I won't take Adderall, because I know I won't be nice with it.
It's like getting into an F-22 and being like, I don't need to know how this works. Let's go, and then you're gonna fucking just you're gonna like Battlefield 4, just barrel roll it into the tarmac. It's like you need to know how the fucking controls work. You need to know, is this up? Is this down? Is this roll? Is this yaw? Like, how does it fucking
Yaw.
yawp?
Yaw.
But it's like, but if you don't know that, then how are you going to move forward? Because you can't move forward because you don't know how to put it in fucking drive. You know what I mean? So it's like
fly.
Well, you put it in fly. Where's the fly button?
The F gear. Just put it in F gear.
Where's the
and then
fly
you're flying.
button? And how does it make me come? I need a cum button.
That's still the cum button. We need the fly button.
There's so many buttons in this plane. Why is there not a cum
No,
button?
wait, don't push the button.
just
Ejects immediately.
just
This button says
cockpit.
EJ. That must mean ejaculate,
That's
right?
me. Wait, no.
Yeah, wait, no, that's me. Wait, no, that's the chair.
Just cockpit.
Next thing you know, you're Goose.
I was gonna say get canopied.
So it's
That's how Goose died, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's
Right,
so
hit
it,
the canopy,
so it's
yeah.
it's having a base level of self-knowledge and being real with yourself about like, hey, what are my fucking shortcomings? I'm not fucking perfect. What are my shortcomings? What do I fucking suck at doing what have I been failing at consistently? Okay. Then what is the smallest amount of forward progression I could make in the thing that I'm failing at that I know in me asking myself and I look in the mirror that I know I could probably do? Okay. Then start with that and then keep doing that. No, I don't mean keep doing that as in just doing that 5%, but keep growing and keep progressing on that. And then again, in a year, 6 months, you're a different person. So like what I'm talking about is like, I'm talking about month 1 and I'm talking about that like month 1 gets you to where you're at in like month 6. That's all. So I'm saying we're saying the same. We're just on different points of the timeline. That's what I'm saying. So it's long game. You're like mid long game where you're like fucking mindset, but it's like people who like, I know for me when I was fucking like in 2017, couldn't fucking do literally anything. Wasn't training, fucking jerking off all the time, fucking just eating whatever I wanted, not doing anything. And it's
Right,
like,
and like a little bit of all those things is okay. Like
Or a
it's
lot.
not it's
or
not,
only those things.
it's not like, but again, this is where like ideas of like Christian fundamentalism like have damaged. I feel, well, it's my personal feeling that like I feel like have damaged the way we live our lives, where we think like it's all or nothing. You know what I mean? Like masturbation is evil, or like do whatever you want, free love, fuck it, making OnlyFans, jerk off on TV. You know
That
what I
was a
mean?
good
Like,
point. Would it be evil if it's that much fun?
You got a point there.
Satanism. Think about it.
Hail yourself.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say you worship yourself in Satanism, right? It's
Yeah.
not about worshiping the devil at all.
Yeah,
It's
no,
about just-
seriously.
It's about just being hedonistic and doing whatever the fuck you want, you know. So
Come on,
I mean,
man.
there has to be a gray area between. But like the thing you mentioned before about being aware of your pitfalls and your shortcomings, your dark side per se, you know, the things that you're vulnerable to.
Yeah.
You know, I think that everybody has those aspects of their personality that they don't want to look directly into,
Yeah.
that they don't want to acknowledge, because it hurts. You know, it hurts to indicate your own weaknesses to yourself. It hurts to look in the mirror and say, well, I do this and this hurts me, you know, like this is one of my bad habits. And it's just like, even right now off the top of my head, you know, thinking about my own like shortcomings, it's just like, that's a tough lens to look through, to be hard on yourself like that. But it's important because like, otherwise you'd just be walking straight into barbed wire fences all the time, like metaphorically speaking, you know, where you're trying to make progress.
Thinking you
in
look
your
really
life.
cool while you're doing it.
Yeah, you're like, yeah,
That's the scariest part.
It's like, yeah, I'm a musician, I'm an artist, and like I'm like a free spirit. It's like, oh yeah, but I have no self-control around substance, you know, or
Right.
whatever
Right.
your pitfall may be,
Right.
you know. And it's like you don't acknowledge those bad things about yourself, you can't move forward, and you can't do anything about them. You know, you're just putting a blanket over the elephant in the room and just leaving it there. Like, don't worry about that, you know. And like,
we also make assumptions about people that aren't necessarily true. Like I just found out on his recent interview with Rogan that Roger Waters of Pink Floyd fame does not smoke weed. Has not smoked weed since like the late 70s.
he wrote Dark Side of the Moon sober.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he has a drink every now and then. You know what I mean? But like, doesn't like the way it makes him feel. Quit smoking weed because he needed to quit smoking cigarettes. Like, what an interesting thing. Like, one triggered the other.
I hear he's a real douchebag too. Roger Waters.
Well, Well, people
That's so
think
funny.
he's anti-Semitic because he's
We just keep going back to that.
He just hangs out with Mel Gibson.
no. People think he's anti-Semitic because he doesn't agree with the actions of the Israeli government, and he has used the Star of David in like political cartoon form against the Israeli government, where people mistook that as him coming down on Jews in general because it is the symbol of the Jewish faith. So it was in poor form, and he did.
It's also
take
the
it-
symbol
did
of a
take it-
country.
Yeah,
So it's the
But-
Jewish
but-
faith
but
and the
it-
Jewish state.
Yeah, so it's not kind of fair that like it's not fair. I shouldn't say it's not fair, but like it represents both.
Oh,
so
no,
you
it definitely
can't,
does.
You can't attack one without attacking the other.
It's hard to
so I feel
separate
like
them.
it is in poor form for him to use that. Like I don't know why he thought that was a good idea.
You can't expect that to be parsed in the public square.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
That's really what it is.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know about it. I just, you're like, yeah, Roger Waters sucks. All right, cool. Moving on. I didn't know about any of that anti-Semitic stuff, though.
That's one of the big reasons why people are upset with him. Also, he's very against the Ukraine war, and people, the mainstream wants you to be for the war. They want you to stand with the Ukraine. They want you to be for Ukraine. That's what they want you to say. That's the narrative right now. Is
Right.
Stand with them, give them more guns, keep
Yeah.
it going.
Like billions of dollars we got to give them to Ukraine while we're in the middle of a liquidity crisis.
Yeah, we
sure.
can't fix the water in Flint, Michigan, but we can give $87 billion to the IRS and like another $85 billion to the.
It seems a little funky.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, Ed, listen, we don't work for the government. I'm sure water's expensive. So
it just falls
something
out of the sky periodically.
hey, that's not free, okay? You need
You're,
you
you're not
gotta,
allowed to collect it either.
Yeah.
Just you go to
Yeah,
jail.
You're not allowed to collect
you gotta buy a
rainwater.
bucket. We gotta tax
Can't
it.
collect that fucking rainwater or it's unregulated.
Yeah, the water falls out of the sky.
It comes from the earth. It's unregulated, is what you mean to say.
And if you collect it, you're a criminal.
Yeah.
That's absurd. But like,
Just like if I went into the woods and killed a deer and brought it home, they'd be like, "You got a permit for that?"
yeah,
You know?
You got a permit for
Free
that course?
country, but did you pay us a few $100
it's
so
free,
you could do that?
Free countries for those who pay admission.
Well, it's the same thing with like fees. Like I got a seatbelt ticket the other day, and I was like, "Oh, yeah," because this is only a punishment of the poor, a way to extract more money out of poor people.
Well, I mean, like think about they say it's
Like
a
red light cameras.
They say wearing a seatbelt, the only person in danger is yourself. But think about this: you get into a head-on collision, your lifeless body ejects through the windshield of your car and lands on a poor old woman. I mean, now there's
that's
another.
not funny.
Now there's a
But, like,
victim.
I just picture like,
sailing
The
through the
second
air.
flying dead body
Yeah.
joke.
So think about the old ladies, Ed. Wear your seatbelt. You don't want to be a projectile to kill an
Yeah,
old
dude,
woman.
You know what I mean? I know it's not
Yeah.
safe, but it's also like a dumb fucking thing to fine people for.
No, I mean I was strictly being facetious about that.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, there's just so much the news cycle. Like I've told you guys already, man. My mental health recently has been fucking in
Oh,
the shitter just from
same.
all the news.
I think
and
all of us
the,
have been dealing with that.
Yeah, I really feel like this.
It's
last
been really
week,
hard.
It's been laid on real thick. The stress.
It's been really hard, and like let's be real with ourselves and our listeners. A lot of whom are in Europe. We do have a number of people in Europe who listen to us, and it's like, the threat of a nuclear war is imminent right now. The highest,
It's much higher than
the
it has
highest
ever
threat
been
it has
since,
ever
like-
been since the Cold War.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's
The
like
doomsday clock is ticking, boys.
yeah, the doomsday clock is ringing. It's the alarm's going off. It's rough out there right now, and for deep thinkers, which a lot of martial artists are also deep thinkers. A lot of people who pursue physical pursuits also pursue. I'm sorry, that's a redundant fucking sentence, but
The people who pursue pursuits.
people who pursue
You will continue to pursue that.
but
pursuers who
physical
pursue
and mental
pursuits.
pursuits often go hand in hand, and for deep thinkers who are going to be, really, really aware of the current situation of the world, it's a fucking scary time to be alive, is it not? Yes. It's a really
Dude,
terrifying
Very
time.
stressful too.
And as much as Ed is I feel like your primary focus is on the Russia and the Ukrainian war. Like there's stuff going on like in the financial markets around the world. Like foreign currencies are devaluing, and the bonds market in the United States is the worst it's been since they started keeping records in 1899. It is, and bonds are supposed to be plain Jane, like
Yeah,
stable,
very stable.
like, and they're in the shitter, and it's scary. And the Fed increasing its basis point hikes, its quantitative tightening is what it's called. Is the EU reached out to the Fed and is like, please stop doing this because you're hurting the world economy, which has never happened before. The EU reached out to the Fed directly and said, listen, your interest rate hikes are hurting the world economy. It needs to stop. And the Fed was like, Like, fuck you. We're going to keep doing this because we need to lower inflation. And it's all coming to a head. Like, I'm really, really nervous about what's going to happen in the money markets within the next year.
The world is like about to pop right now. Like
there's so much going on.
And now from a spiritual standpoint, things during change are most turbulent. Like when big change is coming, things are very, very turbulent. Like and I don't know if like it's too woo woo to say like you experience things when you meditate or like like if you really feel a spiritual connection, but like I do, I do, and I do think that there's more out there. I mean, like look out in space and tell me that we're alone. Look out in space and look at the way your body works and everything, and like tell me that it's all by accident, that it all just so happens to be. It's like it's too much, It's too much, to see like if gravity was a little bit less intense or a little bit more intense, life wouldn't be able to exist. Everything is perfectly, the powers are balanced exactly where they need to be in order for the universe to exist. So that's a mind-blowing yet comforting thought for me, because it's like, let's say that there is something out there that's like controlling this. Maybe there is something that happens after we go. Maybe we die and there is some place that we go. Maybe we go rejoin the collective consciousness. Maybe we unplug from the Matrix and come out of the simulation and go, that was a crazy game. I'm never playing that again. You know what I mean? Like,
what was it, like Jim, A Life Well Lived, or whatever?
It's just some Rick and Morty like truck stop arcade.
Is it Randy?
You beat cancer and you went back to the carpet store?
Yeah.
Is it Randy? I think it's Randy.
You
It's
really
Randy,
wasted your 30s with that bird watching phase. It's like,
That was a weird level, man.
yeah.
It's-
Crazy.
You're so right, though. It's just like everything seems just too perfect to be random. But at the same time, I mean, you could look at all the other planets and all the other stars as like failed attempts. As like life doesn't exist out there, and we are the one time in this one sample where it worked. I mean, there has to be. Like the one thought that I like to hold, like I kind of keep in my back pocket, is what's scarier, that we aren't alone or that we are alone.
That we are. I would say that we are alone is much more terrifying.
And I think it's way less probable too. I think it's way less likely that we are alone.
Well, look at the way life works. Like this planet is so fertile. If you think about the way life works, like we even have life existing in like sulfuric acid pits. Or like life that couldn't exist anywhere else.
Like snails that have iron shells
Yeah,
and like live in like magma pits.
That live in lava.
Shit.
Yeah,
that's wild.
It's
actually a dragon. It's
literally
not a snail.
And there's also like certain bugs and like certain animals that have actual metal as part of their bodies.
Yeah.
So like anything is possible when it comes to life. We just so happen to be these weird flesh bags. I was gonna say something.
More sign of life.
Yeah, there's. I saw something recently that there was actually possible signs of life on Mars, which I forget what it actually was. Yeah, organics on the red planet. Let's see. There's microbes that are supposedly organic in origin that they found on Mars.
Well, the rover that they just built, one of the things, so the big plan with this thing is that they send it to Mars, right? It collects all these samples. Then they land another piece of equipment on there that's basically another rocket, right? The rover goes to this thing, loads the samples onto the rocket shoots back to Earth.
We're doing that. Like that's a phase of technology that we're at right now. Also, this is hilarious.
It's going to take like 15 years. But
play this game for 1 minute and see why
everyone is addicted.
That's
just
porn.
Big tits.
That's 100% porn.
Big tits.
3 pairs of elf tits.
Yeah, exactly.
Elven tits are always perky and perfect.
And they live forever. 900-year-old nipples.
Their nipples point the same direction for thousands of years. They never slowly point downward.
They actually point in the direction of the thing you most desire.
How do they point to themselves?
This is getting tit punched by your own boob. But let's see. But yeah, that's pretty much this one little snippet right here was has found some interesting organic compounds on the red planet that could be signs of ancient Mars life, but it'll take a lot more work to test that hypothesis. It's basically like traces of carbon or organic shit. No, and yeah, that's my cool story, bro.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
Get the new Google Pixel 7 Pro pre-order.
I don't want
Pre-order.
So here's how it goes. All this talk and all these things, these existential dreads that kind of trigger the depression, that make it difficult to do the time management things that we talk about. Like the whole purpose of being a martial artist, right? Why do we train? Do I train because I want to rip people's throats out, or do I train because I want to be the best version of me that I could possibly be, and then potentially rip somebody's fucking throat out?
I
You
mean,
know what I mean?
it's a good perk. It's a good side perk. to
It's
be
a
able to-
side perk. It's
It's-
a good
it's-
side quest.
Throat removal skills are pretty cool to have.
But no, but in all seriousness, just to let me complete the thought, right? I'll try not to tell my ADD jokes either. Like we learn these skills to become the best people that we can be, and we have this podcast to help other people on this journey being the best people that we can be, and create this point of energy that then can radiate out to the rest of the planet. And so the more of you, the more antennas that we have through this show, the more people that we have that are growing and learning and on this path with us, the more we can change the world. So the more you guys help support us, the further our reach can be that we can help support the world. We can help change the world with the thing that we're doing. So we joke at things, we laugh at things. Sometimes they're terrible things that we laugh, but we
Most
laugh
of
at
the time
them.
they're
Why?
terrible
Because you have to find humor in everything.
And because that's
There's
my coping mechanism.
That too, but there's humor. There's humor in everything. Even in the darkest pits, there's humor. You know, there's humor everywhere. There's love everywhere. There's life everywhere. You just have to look for it and find it. And it takes discipline to do those kinds of things. Not saying that like our shitty senses of humor are like products of discipline. It's more like products of psychosis, more like it. But
Definitely.
yeah, 100%. But like, you know, you need to be able to reach deep down inside yourself and pull out your greatest potential, and then let that shine on everyone else in the world. Like let your example lead others. Don't lead others. Let your example lead them to the correct location, you know, to where they should
That's why
be.
self-transformation is the most important.
Super powerful, and that's why most of the feeds that we see is people transforming, right? People going from rags to riches, from overweight to in shape, from non-athletic to athletic. These are the journeys, the hero's journey. The hero's journey is what we love. Every story ever written, it follows the archetype of the hero's journey, you know.
Call to adventure.
Yeah, a call to adventure. And, you know, we love that and we want that. But unfortunately, life is exactly how you think it is. And reality, is, unfortunately, is often the more boring answer than the big exciting one. You know what I mean? Like, it's not lizard people. Sorry, QAnon. You know what I mean? Like, it's not lizard people. I hate to break it to you. You know,
That's exactly what the lizard people want you to think.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even with the COVID stuff, you know, the people were like, there has to be some kind of conspiracy. And it's like, no, actually, it's more like people they were making these decisions. They just thought this was the right thing to do, all these lockdowns and stuff, and nobody was communicating.
Yeah.
There wasn't some grand scheme. It was just like, we shouldn't leave the house. Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't
Like,
a grand
that's it.
scheme. It's more like this is the problem in politics, where it's like, we gotta look like we're doing something even though we have nothing to do. Stay inside. Don't go to work. We'll protect everybody, and we'll just give you money, and then you'll love us still. And then
We'll
it's
just
like,
shut down the economy. Nothing bad will
The
happen.
economy's destroyed, and you know the world balances on the fingertip of America. So sorry that we fucked you all by being the largest economic superpower, and then taking all our money and dumping it down the toilet. Sorry, guys. You know. Like,
It's like I mentioned the foreign currencies before. It's wild watching. There's like a line graph over time of like foreign, like a domestic and foreign currency value, and the United States is going up and up and up, and everything else is falling off a cliff. It's fucking crazy. Like I'll show you guys in a second, and I'm just like, oh boy, like we're really in the deep water. Boys.
I think I'm literally out of brain space. Like I don't have any more space on my hard drive in my like things to scare me folder.
But before we keep going into like the scary stuff, and we end on a negative note, I wanted to end with something hopeful. I wanted to end with something positive, right? And so what's the positive of this? Is that the ones who have the power to change are sitting on this couch right now and listening to this podcast right now. You, out there, you are the one with the power to change. You are the one with the power to change not just yourself, but the people around you, the energy around you, the vibes. So to speak, the vibes around you, right? But you're in control of all these things. So you can be infectious to the people around you and promote positivity instead of negativity. You can show them that change and being respectable and being goal-driven and dedicated can be healthy for you and can be a good thing and can be an infectious thing. You can inspire others. You have the ability. So do we, right? So do we. Even though I might look in the mirror and not see that in myself, we do have that ability to inspire people. You know, I don't see any difference in me from White Sash Ed. But now I'm on the floor and I'm just walking around talking to Seagong, and I see other students like introducing people like, I'm just, that's Lauscher Ed. He's one of the teachers here. You're gonna like his classes a lot. And this is, like that's Lao Sure Ryan. That's everything. And that's John. He makes you feel like you're not working hard enough. We inspire people by committing, and by committing to our craft, right? And through committing to our craft, it helps us grow into the kinds of people that can bear the burden and the responsibility of being the source of the signal, so to speak, the source of the signal for other people to kind of bounce those radio waves off of. The beacon, right? Mm-hmm. It's a lot of responsibility. It's a large weight on our shoulders, and that accountability helps us continue to grow. I'm kind of mad I don't have Puma socks on now.
Sorry, bro.
By the way.
Ed just sucks.
Yeah.
So.
Sorry I don't shop at Walmart with you guys.
Stop! I'm gonna poo my pants.
Hey man, I actually got these.
End the episode now. Get rid of it.
For your information, I got these socks from AutoZone. So
got a free oil change and a pair of used socks.
they just take them from the guy who's doing the oil change.
he's unconscious on the floor.
Ooh, they smell like Parmesan. Parmigiano Reggiano.
Hard Italian cheese.
This is how it works: is the humor and everything helps us cope.
Helps us cope with everything happening.
Yeah.
But just
it makes life worth living,
yeah.
right? Laughing makes life worth living. You guys make me laugh so fucking hard. I want to spend all my time with the two of you.
Likewise.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, it's just it really is true. It's such a fucking hokey bullshit thing to say in the sense of like that it's such a worn out thing, but it's like really if you want to there's so much practicality to it of if you want to change other people around you and help change the world, it really is a infectious ripple effect of starting by changing yourself. It really is. You need to, and it just comes from people seeing you transform yourself, and then that innate ability to do that, to mold yourself, being woken up in them, be like, oh shit, like this fucking piece of shit could do that. Maybe like me as a piece of shit could do that. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
it's
or also just stop calling yourself a piece of shit, so you don't believe it.
Right.
The other
Ron,
thing
that's
is,
my friend you're talking about, right?
Yeah, and the other thing is keep your circle small. You're looking at my friends right here. I mean, I have other friends. Don't get me wrong.
a triangle
but
of mutual loneliness.
But like, no, but
Gang's all here.
I have other friends, but like my best friends that like know every little detail about me. That's these two right here. So.
Yep, it's keeping the people in your life that are meaningful, that will call you out on your bullshit, and if you have people in your life that don't call you out on your bullshit, you need new people.
Yeah.
So very important. Very
or make you feel bad for dedicating yourself to something that you love.
Yeah. No, I mean, one of my buddies one time said that I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. So, I think that means something.
So just as a quick summary, know yourself, but especially know all parts of yourself. Know your dark side. Integrate it. Know your shortcomings, because only if you can shine light on the potholes.
It's a long, short summary.
Is go fuck yourself. Only if you know where the potholes are on the road can you avoid them, so you don't have to you don't blow a tire. You know what I mean? So you
buy new rims now.
You need to know.
It's an expensive metaphor.
Yes, you need to know. Well, not with my car. It's not expensive. Expensive in work that needs to be done.
Tires are $15.
Yeah,
Your whole car is probably worth about $900.
Wow, that's like that's an actual realistic estimate.
My car is worth.
That's like it's more offensive because it's probably the actual.
My
Blue
car
Book
is
value.
worth about my car is worth about 2.5 market value PS5.
The amount of times I've gone outside and been like, hold on, Ryan, let me put your front bumper back on real quick.
My guitar is worth $300 more than Ryan's car, and I can't drive it
It's
to
a
work.
2011 Honda Civic. It's great.
It'll run forever as long as you keep
tan.
changing
It
the
will.
oil. It just won't have a body left. It'll just be a chassis and an engine.
It'll just be me in a car seat driving a steering wheel
It's like a
with
go-kart.
nothing else, just on the road. Oh,
Like Wonder Woman in the Invisible Jet.
yeah.
Ryan's-
I'm just in what is it? The Mermaid and Barnacle
Invisible
Boy.
Bowmobile.
It's just Ryan in a stained seat.
Don't ask.
Know yourself. Watch the potholes, or you'll drive my piece of shit car. No, but it's you really have to be able to know yourself to then grow. If you don't know yourself, it's like getting into a fucking jet you've never flown before. It's like if you don't know what your shortcomings are and what your strengths are, you don't know what to improve and you don't know what to build off of. So you need to know yourself. Start with the smallest thing that you can do moving forward, and know that it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Change will come over time if you stay consistent, and you can always build on it from there.
All right. We love you guys.
Yeah,
we
we
hope
love
you
all of you.
laughed
Thank
with
you.
us. We hope you learned with us. We
Oh,
hope you enjoyed what you listened
Yeah.
to and or watched.
Episode 1 with video.
Well, episode 1 with video. Episode 20 25 or 26. 25 is
We lose
pretty
track.
heavy, so I don't know if we're going to release it yet, but I'll let you know. So, guys, just some quick announcements. Once the Discord hits 100 members, it's going to go to Patreon only. If you would like to sub to our Patreon now to help support what we do, please click the link at the bottom of the episode description and become a Patreon supporter.
Check out the merch.
Another great way you can support the show is by going to our merch site, which is also on the link, in the link at the bottom of the episode description. You can pick up, as of right now, as of recording right now, there might be more by the time the episode is released.
Yeah.
We have T-shirts, we have slides, which are pretty awesome.
They'll
They
flip
are-
it for
they
me.
are
We
pretty
have hoodies.
The fucking
and-
hoodie is sick. Like, we're all probably today we're all gonna order our own test hoodies because they look fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Just
So
never take them off.
Yeah, just wear them
just
forever,
shower
all
with
winter
them on.
long.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be gross.
Yeah, so
always-
hoodies, lots of different colors are available. So the color that you see on the preview, there's lots more options that you
Yeah.
can order from.
Yep.
Available in American and European sizes, and we hope you guys enjoy it. We really love doing this, and we
Yep.
want to do this full time. So
Yep.
thank you guys for supporting the goal, supporting the mission. I think it's fitting now that we're on video for us all to give everybody a good old kung fu bow. Beyond everybody.
Yeah.
And John?
Well, thank you to our Instagram followers. Thank you to our patrons. Thank you to our Discord members. And this has been the Martial Mind Podcast.